Game day. I love it. Game day. Oh my God, that's great. I have never in my life seen such a great weekend of content with college football and with the NFL, what I saw on Sunday. I don't know if I've seen that in the last 20 years. That's as good as it gets. College football playoff conversations dominated the weekend. And then we're starting to see the filtering of the NFL playoff teams. But as I say this all the time, it's a week-to-week league. And tonight's a huge game, obviously. Eagles and Chargers. I'm going to get to who I think wins, but I have to first start out by doing this. And I'm very glad for Xander and his Bama team. But as Jimmy Johnson would say, how about them Hurricanes? Hey, M. Reyes, you can take your Pop-Tart eating Notre Dame team and go pout back to South Bend and have your little tails between your head, between your tail. And by the way, Notre Dame, see you later. I'm not playing. If I don't get my way, I'm not playing. I can't in any way understand how we're left out. What happened? We're not in. Oh, what happened? People came to their senses. They beat you. Dick Vitale's trying to get into a conversation with me, and he goes like this. Notre Dame with this metric and this, I'm going, hey, end of the day, Dick, they beat them. If you don't want to have any conversation, beat Miami. Beat them. I agree with you, M. Reyes. I think the college football playoff is on a respirator, and make no mistake about it. Committees are just about done, and so is ESPN. So we'll talk more later on in the program. But so let me get this right. The Philadelphia Eagles now have a sex doll in their locker room. How classic can you get? What is that, the feel-good bunny? I got to feel good about myself before I play the Chargers. So I'm going to have a feel-good blow-up doll bunny in my locker room so I can go by and touch the magic bunny. Oh, my God. Man, you're the weirdest football team I've ever covered. You got a sex bunny in your blow-up doll in your locker room now to try to make everybody feel good? I thought Nick made everyone feel good. Now you have a blow-up doll in your... Come on, man. Where we going here? You got a blow-up doll. Oh, my God. I saw that bunny, and I was like, come on, bro. Where are we going with this? I mean, really, where are we going? They got to... Everybody, I want you to feel good about yourself, so make sure you look at the bunny. Boy, A.J. Dillon put it in there, right? So I guess it wasn't some team thing. It was A.J. Dillon who put it in there, so all good, I guess. Okay? Hit the like button. Super Chats go to the top. And tonight, from So High Stadium in Inglewood, California, Chargers versus the Philadelphia Eagles, the reigning world champions. Kyle, appreciate you. First Super Chat of the day. How you doing, bro? What's next? Sirianni and Petula dressed up as Santa Claus. Eagle fans, get the snowballs ready. How you doing? Okay? Gotcha. Who you got, Sills? Hang in there. I'm going to get to it. Championship Rabbit. You ain't got a championship shit about you this year, Junior. Just like you're fighting Irish. Back to the Pop-Tart Bowl. How you doing? Notre Dame, the Pop-Tart Bowl. Hey, could be they don't want to be Pop-Tart champs. I get it. All right. Love you too, man. Appreciate all you guys being here. Please hit that like button. First 15 minutes are some of the most important as we start the program off. Don't forget, tonight, pregame show, you get Johnny Mac and also Xander at the halftime, and then I'll be with you also on the postgame show for tonight's big Monday Night Football matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Eagles. All right. We got a lot to get to. First, I wrote the list down. Ready? Nick Sirianni taking more of the offensive play calling. You got Chris Sims taking a shit on Jalen Hurts. And, of course, the Energy Bunny right? And you have the Chargers tonight. So let's start it here. Let's give some scores here. And I'll give you my takeaways, what I think happens tonight. Let me see. There you go. Just wrote it down for the first time because I waited until right now before I really came to my conclusion. What do you got tonight? Hey, by the way, Chris Sims was spitting facts when it came to Jalen Hurts. But you know what's funny? Folks, I've been saying the same shit for 5 years, have I not? 5 years I've been saying this about Hurts. Hey, welcome to the group. Kyle, 21-17. Ooh, Dez. And Dez, your defense just gave up 281, and the Chargers have a better defense than the Bears. But 13-7, 4 tutties. 31-21. I'm assuming Chargers, right, RC? 27-10, Chargers. When the days were hot and long down there in Miami, when Coach Jimmy Johnson knew you guys needed some encouragement, he brought out a bunny. What a joke. Yeah, no. You know what he did? Jimmy took us to a horror movie. If we wanted to do things together, we went to the movies, and we only saw horror movies. Jimmy wanted to see somebody's head chopped off. He only took us to horror movies. We never went and saw anything but horror movies. Honest to God. We would go Friday night, or we would have it at the complex. Jimmy would get a movie, and we would all watch it. Somebody's head always came off. I don't know why. But somebody's head always came off. It was no, love story or any shit like that. Somebody's head came off. Somebody was stabbed 100 billion times. I think one time we watched, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think that's Coach Johnson's favorite one. Yeah, no. No, I bet M. Reyes' favorite one is Weekend at Bernie's. Reminds him of his favorite president, Joe Biden. How you doing? It's a joke. It's all good. No politics today. 34-6 Chargers. Corporate B Pumper. Thank you for the super. 34-6 Chargers. Jalen Hurts and Sirianni have failed this city. Send both these bums to the goulash. I don't give a damn about these two dunce caps. How you doing? Look at Pumper. Corporate B Pumper. Fast times at Reyes High. Hey, I've heard that doll. I first thought it was M. Reyes in the locker room. I thought those guys had a blow-up doll of M. Reyes. How you doing, everybody? You can touch me for good luck. Daniel Jones done. I saw that, man. Achilles tear. And they got the toughest part of their schedule coming up. Herbert injury will be key. Plus the Chargers have an easy. Wait a minute. Plus the Chargers had an easy fixture run. Bro, you got fucking ran on by the Giants. The Giants ran you over with that horrible O-line. You're not that good. You're under the impression you're good. You think you're good. You're not. Make sure to hit the like button. Thank you, Abe. I appreciate that. Pump's not hating on me. I'm going to the Hall of Fame. Yeah, you're going to the Hall of Fame. Hoss, you're going to the Choo-Choo Hall of Fame. That's where they put all the cabooses. NFC East is shit, and also the NFC South is shit. I believe that's what you're saying there. Thank you. See here. 30-10, Sills. I'm assuming that you have the Birds. Our defense will suffer tonight if the offense doesn't step up. It'll be a long night. I agree. 9-6, Jalen Hurts. Light it up. In typical Jalen fashion. Jalen Hurts doesn't light shit up, dog. Unless it's a pilot light when he goes to bed. It ain't his offense, which is 25th heading into this game. Lights it up. Yeah, that's it. Light that shitty offense up. I'm sure of it. I think we'll be ready. We had time off. See, that's wishful thinking shit. You're not hitting. I'll tell you this. I like that Chicago team. I know they got beat by the Packers. I like the Bears. Their quarterback is not very good. Their play calling head coach is sensational. They're not really good. They just play hard. Are you going to play hard? According to Saquon Barkley, you guys don't have a sense of urgency on your sideline. I'm going to give you my takeaway. Sills, look at this. And typical New Jersey fishing maniac, this is classic. Sills, who the hell knows what happens tonight? Hey, really? I got it. I don't know. Yeah. Wow. What an epiphany. That's from my boy, too, who's been here since day one. How you doing? Where's the bunny lining up tonight? Or is that another babysitter for Nick? Yeah. A fucking sex doll in the Eagle locker room. Hilarious. I mean, is that supposed to be Jalen Hurts? that bunny in the middle of the room? I think we win because everyone is betting Chargers. All right. Here's my prediction. This is going to be like the frozen orange juice report. You ready? Some of you will get that. Most of you won't. Tonight, SoFi Stadium. Justin Herbert's playing. Now, put the emphasis on that. Asterisk. If Trey Lance plays, I think you murder that team. If Justin Herbert plays, it's a different conversation. Where are you better than the Chargers? You're surely not better than the Chargers at quarterback. You're surely not better than the Chargers at head coach. You're not better than the Chargers at offensive coordinator and mentor, in my opinion, against Kevin Patullo. Any coordinator that Kevin Patullo goes against, he's the underdog. He's just not very good. Kevin Patullo is one of the worst coordinators in the NFL right now. The head football coach, I love. Every single place he's gone, he has won. He is a winner, Jim Harbaugh. I think they got a good run game. And that defense that they have in every metric is 10 times better than the Philadelphia Eagles. And they got one of the greatest playmaker defensive football players in the league in Derwin James. And if Jalen Hurts is going to be if he's going to be not accurate in this game, and you got Derwin James floating around, he's going to knock somebody out. Do you understand that? He's going to knock somebody out tonight. So, Big Sills, 28-17. Los Angeles Chargers. At home, Justin Herbert has a big night because of the inability of that defense, because here's what's going to happen. The Eagle offense continues to struggle on third down. They can't get the run game going, and you're going to look like the ballet routine you are. 1, 2, 3, kick. 1, 2, 3, kick. 1, 2, 3, kick. You're not better than the Chargers. I got Herbert going for over 300 yards tonight. I mean, no Jalen Carter, no pass rush, and you're going to get eaten alive by Herbert in the secondary. Keely Bingo is going to line up against that passing attack. Good luck. 28-17. We got the Chargers tonight. How you doing? Yes, sir. Keely Bingo. Says you said this defense said this defense after the Broncos game. I told you after the Broncos game, it was a precursor of things to come, right, Kyle? Look at you, Kyle. Way to hang in there. He's right. Remember what I said after the Broncos game in the second half of that game? Is this going to be a precursor of things to come on your defense falling apart? And it has. Your defense systematically over the last month and a half has started to fall apart. It's your defense that's now taking the brunt of this bad offense. You're not going to get anything going right now. Miami over Notre Dame. How you doing? Did a lot of politicking. Okay? Trey Lance, you better keep praying for that, Junior. Keep praying. Jeff, you're wrong, Sills. We have the better kicker, punter, and backup quarterback. Eagles win 49-0. Yeah. We have also seen the Eagles win a bunch of close games, so you never know, but it will be close. Dude, you won the majority of those games in the early part of the season. Now you're in the real part of your season. So let's take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles over the last, 9 games? Let's take a look at that. Let's take the month of September out of the mix here because, as we all know, that's a liar. Isn't that wild? In the month of September, you were 4-0. But since the month of September, you are 1, 2, 3, 4-4. Whoa! What? So since Liars Month, your first 4 games, you're 4-4 with convincing ass beatings involved. Convincing ass beatings. Oh, and one of my favorites of all time, Nick Sirianni is more of an influence in your offense. We're going to get into that, but first and foremost, I want to get to Barkley's comments. Your football team is not motivated. Barkley says it. They're going through the motions in practice. But when they get into the game, there's not a sense of urgency. That's a tired football team. He says when we get into the games, we just don't have the energy. We don't have the sense of urgency. Hey, when we're at practice, we do all the right things because that's what we're trained to do. But when we get to the game, what happens when you get to the game? You lose your focus and you're half interested. That football team right now is not motivated. They're not motivated. They're not hungry. And this is why the Chargers are going to win. Okay? Now, this is a great comment here. Is he talking about himself? That's not a bad comment, RC. KC, that's not a bad comment. Because he sure plays like that too. Chargers 27-17, 2023 all over again. Oh, if Nick Sirianni loses this ball game tonight, his ass is in trouble. That's right. You got the Energizer Bunny. How you doing? That's right, guys. 64 likes. I love it. Let's get it up to 100 by the top of the hour. I prefer having a great offense like the Bills and the Bengals and losing than those ugly wins heading towards the Super Bowl. Man, hey, look, in the NFL, man, any win's a good win. I don't care how it looks. Okay? But I do think that what you get when you get those passing offenses, you get more balance. How about that comment that Barkley made? You guys don't have a sense of urgency. That's how I read it. On the sidelines, we get there, there's not energy. That's, to me, a problem when it comes to a desire to win. You don't have an energy. Barkley actually said execution fuels emotion and lack of execution is the problem. Sileo's bait knows. Okay, well, that's a nice, comforting way of trying to correct the comment you made. That's nice. Execution? Well, help me out here, my friend. You have the same personnel back you had a year ago. What could possibly be the problem? Let me guess. Your bullshit KP, right? Because that'll be your go-to because you don't want to blame it on that rag arm Hurts. And I agree with, hey, by the way, I don't agree with Chris Sims. Chris Sims agrees with me. Sills is wrong because we're going to tie him tonight. How you doing? My legendary 3 and outs are why we win. Or either the windshield or the bug. That's pretty funny, man. Eagles sit at 9-4 after tonight, and Hurts still sucks, right? Yeah, hey, I guarantee you, if Hurts has 98 yards, yes, he does. By the way, RC, did you watch fucking Josh Allen last night? And remember something with Josh Allen. If he's not a hero every night, they lose. Hurts can suck every night, and you win. Caboose will always be. Caboose. He's a Super Bowl MVP. Yeah, so is Jim Plunkett. Congratulations. Quite a crew you're in. I think Hurts is the same quarterback as last year as well, but our O-line is the problem. Well, Jalen Hurts wasn't asked to do shit last year. It was carried by Barkley. Allen is an amazing runner, Sills. Allen's an amazing player. Burrow handed Allen the game, Sills. So Joe Burrow back after a couple weeks fought his ass off last night. Joe Burrow, I thought, was great too. Remember something. Those quarterbacks have to carry their team, dude. They have to carry their team. Your guy doesn't. He's a caboose. So it's one of the things I would do in free agency is try to get Becton back. Dude, one of the few things that I would try to do in free agency next year is to get yourself a decent tight end and also get yourself some depth pieces on offense. Your offensive line is getting older. And maybe another running back. Dan would love to have a Super Bowl championship, and don't lie. And say no, you wouldn't. I'd rather have a Hall of Fame ring and $100 million than a Super Bowl ring. I can't do anything about a Super Bowl ring. I could do something about being in the Hall of Fame, though. And I could do something about making $100 million. My play and playing the best I can. I can't control a Super Bowl ring. How can I? I'm a defensive tackle. How can I? How can a right guard have any influence on a Super Bowl? None. Zero. Sills is about personal goals, not team goals. Says a lot. Damn right. Because that's the only thing I can control. My own sandbox, as Nick Saban says. Control your own sandbox. Hey, would I love to have a Super Bowl ring? Absolutely. Would I love to have one of those championship rings or two of them that I have? Absolutely. Only thing I can control is how I play. I can't control a quarterback throwing 3 picks or 6 picks in a game. I can't control that. This game will tell me all I need to know about this team going into the playoffs. Either we hit the iceberg or we don't. Josh better with no Pat, Lamar, or Joe, no more excuses. Yeah, right. Put him on a better team. Listen, I'm not having that debate. One guy is in the Bengals and the other guy's with the Bills. I'm not having that debate. Bro, nobody on the planet thinks Hurts is in Joe Burrow's room or Allen's room except fucking donuts. Glazed donut Eagle fans only think that dumb shit. They're nowhere in the conversation. He has nowhere near the ability of them guys. Not one. Nowhere near the ability. Jesus criminy. Hey, by the way, there's a reason Hurts was a second rounder. Nobody thought he was shit, and nobody thought he was shit at Alabama. He was so bad at Alabama, he lost his gig. Sales running back Taylor Aguilar would be great signing and trade for Darnell Washington. He's a versatile and on a rookie contract. He's a T3 for Pittsburgh. Alfredo Roberts coaches him. Alfredo likes him. He was a teammate of mine at the University of Miami. The coach, tight end coach in Pittsburgh. Hurts is not even better than Dak. Of course he's not. Of course he's not. How many rings do those quarterbacks have? Irrelevant. Sills, what do you think of Mendoza? Probably a third rounder. I wasn't impressed with him in the Big Ten title game. I think he made some throws. He's not impressive. Like, is he better than Shedeur Sanders? I don't know. I don't think so. And Shedeur Sanders is a fifth rounder. So I don't know. I mean, so Mendoza, just because he's on a great team, that doesn't mean, just like your quarterback, that doesn't mean he's a great player. I thought he was good. I thought the kid at Ohio State was worse. Those two quarterbacks that played in that Big Ten title game, I wouldn't draft him anywhere from the highest I would draft, third round, maybe fourth round. Those are third or fourth round guys. I don't see anything special about them players. Sayin and the other guy, Mendoza, they're not very good. Well, they're good. They're not spectacular. Those aren't spectacular. The kid Sellers at South Carolina is a good-looking player. Nussmeier's not that hot. I don't really think this is a quarterback class. I think it's okay. Jalen had a better career than you. Like, congratulations, kid. What the fuck does that have anything to do with Dak being better than your stiff-arm quarterback? Sanders played well yesterday, even though he was shitty. Titans. Sadowski blew the game for them. Sills, is it funny how everyone calls Hurts a winner, but when Brady won his first 3 rings, he was referred to as a game manager? You can't make this shit up. That's a great comment. He's a game manager, but Hurts is a winner. Yeah, okay. Trent Dilfer won because he was on a good football team. Do you not agree? Trent Dilfer was on a great football team, that Ravens team. And he's a stiff. And they won a Super Bowl. You don't have to be exceptional to win a Super Bowl. I can name you multiple guys who were not exceptional. Okay? Yeah, because he got injured early in the year. I thought he was great in that. I believe it was the Clemson game, I think, or the Georgia game. They played earlier. I thought he was great in that game. But, yes, he's been disappointing this year. I think he's going to be one of the top transfer guys, though. Sills, you know teams are going to overdraft. Oh, my God, there's going to be 3 or 4 quarterbacks going this draft. There absolutely will, okay? Now rings mean nothing. When it comes to talking talent, 0. 0. When it comes to talking about evaluating of talent, has nothing to do with it. Hence, how you're paid. Wasn't Hurts take that was take has to win. Wasn't a Hurts take that was, sorry, dude. I don't get that one, but I appreciate the super. Yeah, that's on me there if I can't read that. Hurts' 2 best games just happened to be the Super Bowl. Other than that, Not better than those other boys. Absolutely never will ever be. Bro, you're talking one game over his whole career. What one game is that? I watched him all throughout the year. I thought he was okay. I didn't think Mendoza was spectacular. I love the throw in the Penn State game to the back of the end zone. The receiver made that spectacular catch. I mean, okay. I'm not Tyrod Taylor. I'm better than Prime Manning. I'm sure you think that. That's why you don't want to run anymore. Trey, who is better? I'm not sure what we're talking. No, Sills, I'm talking to Trey. Gotcha. That's all Brady did was be a winner with literally nothing on offense. How was Brady a game manager and had nothing on offense except the tight end? That's it. You're right. Nothing on offense. Brady will never have played with one Hall of Fame player that won a Super Bowl in New England. Not one. Except Gronkowski. And by the way, you want to hear something else? Tom Brady never played with one skilled player in New England that was drafted in the first round. Not one. Never played with one skilled player. I think the running back from Georgia later in his career might have been a first rounder. So let's say we don't make the playoffs, plus 4 quarterbacks go early. Could get a good kid around that area. We're not drafting a quarterback in the first round. You need multiple. Dude, stop with that. He's got a no trade. Don't even go there. Once again, every time somebody says Randy Moss, I know your intelligence level. Every time somebody says Randy Moss, I know your intelligence level in New England. Randy Moss, or do you mean New England first? Randy Moss never won a championship in New England. Randy Moss wasn't drafted number 1 by New England. He was drafted in the first round by the Vikings. They traded for the Raiders for a 6th round draft pick. So I was referring to other positions. Oh, they need O-line help. Okay? Went 19-0. Phenomenal. That's a heck of a run, I guess. You never said drafted by New England. Bro. Tom Brady never won a fucking championship in New England with one Hall of Fame player other than Tom Brady or other than Gronkowski. And he never played or won a Super Bowl with anybody who was drafted in the first round in New England. That's what we said. Okay, bud, to disagree, since you still have yet to tell me, who do you believe is a better passer than Burrow? I don't believe anybody's a better passer than Joe Burrow. Tom Brady doesn't have a Jordan deal. I'm better. Yeah, well, I would probably think that's why you're more concerned and distracted with that shitty noodle arm of yours, and why the other guy has 7 Super Bowl wins, and he's got 10 appearances, and he was a 6th rounder, and he was a 199th pick, and he's the greatest player in the history of postseason NFL football. So before you start going into that room, the Tom Brady room, you might want to dust off, caboose. Seals, do you think we'll be able to stop the run against the Chargers? No, I do not. Burrow only plays 10 games a year. That's a problem. That is a problem. It is. Burrow is a better passer. Talk about delusional. Burrow is a better passer. Talk about delusional. Are you under the impression you think, or you're talking about those guys? Because if you're saying Jalen Hurts is a better passer than Joe Burrow, yeah. Brady the GOAT, end of that. Hey, really? Well, he was on the yacht with the GOAT, though, Michael Jordan. So I'm assuming that His Highness Hertz probably thinks that, he's now the GOAT. Because hey, if you hang out with him, you must be the GOAT. Are they bringing down Brady to prop up Hertz? Of course they are. That's all they do that. Stafford's a spectacular quarterback. Spectacular. Says, how come no one ever thinks about Terry Bradshaw as elite? Different league. He was a deep ball thrower, 4-0 in Super Bowls, called his own plays. Bradshaw's underrated. Bradshaw never had an offensive coordinator. Do you know that? Terry Bradshaw never had an offensive coordinator. He didn't have to worry about Kevin Patullo. He called his own plays. Terry Bradshaw won 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. And the rest of those times, they were in AFC championship games. The Steelers were incredible. It's the greatest collection of talent in history of the National Football League. Pre-cap, the Steelers had the greatest collection of talent, bar none. Bar none. And Bradshaw never had to worry about coordinators. And he had a sensational defense. So it was just great coaching, great evaluating of talent. They really didn't need an offensive-minded coach. Bradshaw took care of it all. If Joe was on the Cowboys, the Eagles would not win the East for the next 5 years. My problem would be the Cowboy management, though, getting in the way. I met Bradshaw in Colorado. Hell of a nice guy, huge hands. No wonder he could sling it. He's a tremendous quarterback. In an era that really didn't throw the ball all that much. They ran the ball back then. They had Franco. If you look at it, all the skilled players on the offensive huddle and no old linemen. Not one offensive lineman outside of Webster made the Hall of Fame. It was the running back, Franco, 2 receivers, quarterback, and the head coach. Doesn't matter who can throw the ball better. It matters who can close the deal. No one can take shots at Burrow because he got to the Super Bowl and wasn't the reason they lost. No, it was their defense. I agree. Montana. Yeah, the Cowboys would figure a way to screw up Burrow. I agree. So interested in your thoughts that James Madison and Tulane are in the playoffs. They have no right being in the playoffs. Don't try selling me that this is the best 12 teams in the country when you leave Texas and Notre Dame and Vandy out. And I hope they do go to 16 teams. I think it's a joke. Notre Dame being left out and not wanting to go to the Pop-Tart Bowl, I happen to agree with that. Fuck the bowl system. Kids don't care. Agents don't care anymore. I'm not getting hurt in a meaningless bowl game. What's the point? Let me blow my knee out. What? In Orlando, Florida? In the Pop-Tart Bowl? Fuck that. I have no interest in that. It's high stakes now. It's an exhibition game. Doesn't mean anything. I think what you saw yesterday, you're going to see the end of the bowl games. You're probably going to have and pare it down to probably around 15 or 20 bowl games. It's like at 34 now. You got to get rid of almost at least a quarter of those bowl games. They're dog shit. You don't even have enough teams. K-State, Iowa State, Notre Dame don't even want to play in the games now. Yeah, the Cowboys would figure, yeah, they would. Now, if we had Josh Allen, we'd win a lot of Super Bowls. If you had Josh Allen on that team, your football team wouldn't be in the shape it's in because the chains would constantly be moving. And the quarterback would be the reason that you win games on offense, not the liability that hurts us on the offense. So who's probably the best right tackle in college football? I'll get to that. There's about 6 guys. One guy's at Ohio State. Didn't have a good Saturday night against Indiana, though. I was saying that Josh take wasn't a Hurts take. I don't know. I don't care. If he's better than Hurts, he might not have Lamar, Joe, or Pat in the playoffs. No way we saying he wouldn't win with the other guy. That was his way. I got it. Listen, You're going to win with any one of those guys. The offense would be completely different, Ramir. Shout out JAKIB on the tickets at SoFi tonight. There you go. Look at that. Going to the game tonight? It'll be Eagle fans, I'll tell you that. Charger fans are still in San Diego. Who's watching these ball games? Nobody. Unless you have a vested interest or your parents or whatever, gives a shit about the fucking Pop-Tart Bowl. With Marshall in the 90s, the AA brackets were 16 teams. The only way the playoffs should be structured. I know, isn't that crazy? I always said this back when I played. Division I AA could figure it out. Division I could never figure it out. But they knew. You know why? You lose control of the money if you have a 16-team tournament. The more teams you have, the more control you lose. When you have lesser teams, you have more control. Only Josh would be the only elite quarterback in the playoffs. And if Josh has to play the Texans, he's going to get bounced. Let me tell you something about that Texans team. The best defense in the NFL right now is definitely in Houston. They are insane great. Will Anderson Jr. and Stingley are fucking studs. Let me tell you this about that Texans team. You don't want to play that Texans team in the playoffs. They're going to hurt people. Will Anderson's the best player, in my opinion, that Nick Saban coached. He's getting bigger. He's getting better. I thought he was sensational at Alabama. That guy's going to be better talent-wise than what Julio Jones was. He is a force. I'm going to say this to you, and I'm going to make a comment. In 2 years, remember I said this. Hey, Kyle, remind these idiots. In 2 years, Will Anderson Jr. is going to be better than Micah Parsons. He will be better than Micah Parsons. He plays the run. He hits quarterbacks. He's all over the place. They got the number one defense in the NFL. Bro, he is a ball player. I'm watching him against the Chiefs. I'm like, the Chiefs can't stop him. They couldn't block him. They could not block. If there's one young player that I want in today's NFL, fuck Jalen Carter. I'll take that kid. That kid is the best young defensive football player under the age of 25 in the NFL is Will Anderson Jr. That dude can play. Remember I said it, 2 years, he'll be better than him. He is a great-looking football player. Stingley is sick good. The other corner on the other side's good. Chiefs, by the way, since the Super Bowl, are 6-8. They're not making the play. I wish to God I had stayed on that Big Sales bold prediction. Because I said it, I went, Kansas City Chiefs aren't making the playoffs. And then I backed off because I couldn't stop betting against 15. But I don't think they do. 6-8 since the Super Bowl. I mean, they just don't look very good. And I mean, dude, Texans they're the real deal. Davis Mills is a better game manager than Stroud. Now, I don't know if I go there with that. Funny, Stroud would be, if Stroud goes to the playoffs again, it'll be 3 straight years he's gone to the playoffs. In 5 years, Jaden Daniels and Jackson Dart won't be in the league due to health. Could be true. Dude, that Lassiter kid is spectacular. I mean, Lassiter and Stingley. Stingley's an LSU dude. That's the best defense in the league. I don't really think it's close. And by the way, they're putting up lesser yards than what the Eagles did a year ago. It's like 271. I think you guys did 276, 74, and they're younger. And they got most of those kids on rookie deals. Guy's a great football player, man. Dude, even on the other side, Texans can play ball. And they're a physical team. D'Amico Ryans, if that coach at Alabama ever gets fired, that's your next Alabama head coach, D'Amico Ryans. You put that fucker in there. Or better yet, I'll tell you what, I'll put Curt Cignetti anywhere. So let me get this right here. Real quick, before we go on here with the Eagles tonight. You mean to tell me Curt Cignetti's got two teams in the playoff? James Madison and Indiana, and he built both places? Don't ever tell me you need time to build a college program. It took that guy 2 years. 2 years to build those two programs up, and they're both in the college playoff. It's fucking crazy. Dude, Stingley 10 times over Q. He's a man corner. Stingley's a press corner. Way I wanted Howie to trade away everything for Will Anderson when it came out. Kid killed it at Bama. Knew he was the best player coming out in a while. He's spectacular. Just spectacular as a player. She goes, I know the Canes are your squad, but Kirby Smart is dogs playing physical. I think it's a 3-team race. I think it's Indiana, Ohio State, and Georgia. Those 3 teams, somebody's gonna have to prove to me, like maybe A&M. You're gonna have to prove to me you can knock one of those 3 teams off. Bama's already beaten Georgia, so they may be in the conversation, but here's Xander's Bama team. They lose to Alabama. They lose to Florida State, a 5-7 team. They beat Georgia. They wobbled like crazy against Auburn. Auburn stuffed their run game, and Auburn's not very good. And Auburn didn't have a coach. Now, it is the Iron Bowl. You always have to put that into the context. Okay? It is the Iron Bowl. It does matter. I'm no fan of Sirianni, but for some crazy reason, we are told the players love him. I don't believe it. I think the players tolerate him. Do you think the Niners have a chance at the number 1 seed sales? I do. Just because of schedule. Again, another one of our bold predictions. Rams would be a better football team. Don't be shocked if the 49ers win the West. They don't play anybody. So is Q, he plays press coverage so you're telling me that Quinyon Mitchell doesn't play in a 2-eye safety zone, and you think he plays press coverage, and that means he plays man coverage? That's a fucking lie. Press coverage. He's not a man corner. You mean he plays like 3% in man and in base? What the fuck are you talking about? I don't believe that shit either. Did you see the putts? Yeah, I saw the sex toy in the locker room. Can you imagine Jimmy Johnson putting something like that in our locker room? He put a dead guy in there before he put something like that. Hey, this is what you guys are going to look like. You don't win this game. I'll give you guys a little story. We came back from playing against Washington, played like shit. The stewardesses were getting ready to feed us. He goes, no meals. The guy wasn't like that, fucking dolls and shit. He'd never have that in his locker room. Never. Says, do you think Steichen gets fired since Jones got? No. I think Shane's done a hell of a job there. I think Gannon gets fired. The Abdul Carter thing is just rumors. Abdul Carter, this guy can't show up to team meetings. Talk about structure in New York right now. Guy's late to meetings. He doesn't give a shit. Poor character. I already got a poor character guy on my team in Jalen Carter. Sills, is it true Irvin stabbed a Cowboy teammate? I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Okay. Michael Irvin doesn't have to stab anybody and knock the shit out of you. I saw him break a guy's face open once right in front of me, and he was my friend, but they're both my friends. And I took Mike's side. Shouldn't be changing the music in the workout. The guy tried changing the rap music, which I didn't mind, and I'm working out in there. Guy wanted to hear country music, so he goes over, changes it. Mike had already been in there. And whoever gets in there first gets to set the dial. Guy goes over, starts changing. Michael, his name was George Meyer Jr., got drafted by the 49ers. He's tried changing the music, did it again. We got up at the team meeting. Mike knocked him out. George came to me later and goes, "How come you didn't defend me?" I go, "I thought you were wrong. And I love both of you. You guys need to figure it out." So you thought him cheap shotting me. I go, "Hey, man, you got to defend yourself at all times. Against your best friends or against your teammates." I've fought my friends before in the locker room. I mean, that's nothing personal. I love you still, even when I kick your ass. Nothing personal. Love you to death. I'm going to have to fight you here because I don't agree with you, but I love you. Hey, still stay with Anderson. Stop talking about Carter. He's not the guy anymore, remember? I didn't say he wasn't the guy and didn't have an opportunity to be that guy. But business decisions and getting plasma shots when you don't really need them, and because you've been putting up bad tape for your contract, this guy cares more about $180 million than he does making the playoffs. My opinion. The team didn't put the bunny there. A.J. Dillon did. Yeah, well, Jimmy would stab that thing with a knife. If one of his players, Jimmy wouldn't have players put that in there. He couldn't do that shit. And that guy's that locker room is Jimmy Johnson's locker room. It wasn't ours. He put us in that locker room. And for us to get along, that's not the players' locker room. That's Jimmy's locker room. Those are his guys. And you were going to act accordingly. It was a clear, it was a dictator ran our football team. You know how you have these participation medals now with James Madison and Tulane? Ain't none of that. It ain't some socialist locker room. There was a dictator that fucking ran that thing. And his name was Jimmy Johnson. And if you did something stupid in there, you were out. Okay, so PFF is wrong then. Listen, Donald, he plays in a zone. I'm not debating that. I'm just not. Seals, you said Frank will join the Eagles. What happened? Have they made the playoffs yet? Didn't I tell you last week? Let's see what happens tonight because of all the noise. Did I not say also that because Kevin Petula was under a lot of heat right now, if they win tonight, you'll probably see him closer towards the playoff. If they lose tonight, you may not see him definitely until you get into the postseason. Okay? Really? I ain't been wrong yet today. And I ain't been wrong yet this year. And I wasn't wrong in 23, and I wasn't wrong in 22 when I picked your dumbasses to go to the Super Bowl. You don't need to really. They pick and choose little things here, my friend. That's all right. Frank is probably waiting for a break after coaching a team. Again, he's only going to be a consultant. He's not going to be a position coach. Wrong last year, and wrong. I ain't been wrong one time. Your Timu fucking guys stink. Howie's had a horrible offseason. Your defense would be between 15 and 20. Your offense would never be able to get the quarterback, getting the passing game going. And I said that your boy Keely Ringo would blow. I haven't been wrong yet. And I definitely said that Barkley would never get over 1,400 yards this year. Boom. Good night, kid. Go take a lay. Go lay down and take it easy now. It's all good. They're losing tonight. Things getting loud by midnight. How you doing? Get to the next topic. By the way, please hit the like button. Give me a total on the likes, too, because we've been kind of dragging a little bit in the likes here. You said Hurts would never win a Super Bowl with that type of quarterback. Correct. He won. Congratulations. I also said he'd never throw for 4K in his entire NFL career or 30 touchdowns. We're now year 6. Year 5 as a starter. Yeah, that's pretty true. This guy would be lucky to get 3,200 passing yards a year. Still not winning the East? No, you're winning the East. Congratulations. No, you got that one too. That's right. Yeah, you're winning the East. You got it. You're winning the East. Congratulations. One and done. Coach will be on the firing line if that happens. Let's see here. Get this. Listen to what this fucking numbnuts thinks. Duke calls a team that pays his bill. The Eagles don't pay my bills. I pay my bills, bitch. He won't win again. He's a caboose. Very good. 110 likes first hour. Like it. Thank you, guys. Let's see. 19 TDs with 5 games left. What do you think? He's going to throw for 11 touchdowns in the next 5 games. Yeah. It'd be lucky to throw for 6. And that would be a career year. What are your sugar levels, Dan? No. You know what my levels are? Winning. You picked Washington. I did. I also said you'd be one and done in the playoffs. How you doing? And I also said you'd win 11 games. It doesn't take a genius to know that Jalen will never throw. Oh, really? So wait a minute here. Look at this idiot. So you pay a receiver $36 million, another guy $25 million, and a tight end 12, and a running back 20, and the quarterback 50 to never have a 4K quarterback or 30 touchdowns. Economics well spent, kid. The only win I'm counting right now is the Raiders. Oh, man, that means 9 wins. Oh, no. So let me get to the other topic here. That's a little disturbing. How many people are... So Nick Sirianni's more involved in the game planning, which means he's more involved in the play calling. Let me ask you this, guys. Do you think the play calling looks similar to 23? Do you? Does the play calling look similar to 23? Yes or no? Does it? Okay. Well, it's worse now because the quarterback is now exposed. No, 23 was better. I actually think that's a great topic. Was the 23 offense better than the 25 offense? Okay. Was the 23 offense better than the 25 offense? No. Why isn't? What's better with this offense than 23? The turnovers. Now, wait a minute. Ruiz may not be wrong here. The turnovers. Yeah, but your offense was 8th. Double check that. What was the ranking for the Eagle offense in 2023? Seventh. The Eagles had the 7th rated offense, or 8th, okay, in 23. Where is the Eagle offense ranked in 25? So we'll answer that question right now. Let's see here. Offense and Eagle offense heading into tonight's game. The Eagle offense is 24th. That topic's been answered. Brian Johnson had a better offense at 23 than the Eagles have this year. Play calling at 23 looked better. Oh, okay. Brian Johnson was a better situational play caller, and he knew Jalen the turnovers were because the offense was on the field too much and because they had higher volume of throwing. Isn't that crazy? So when Brian Johnson was hired to be your offensive coordinator, he actually was the right hire because all the things that he was supposed to do, he did. Brian Johnson is a better play caller than Kevin Patullo, and he's a better offensive coordinator, and Nick won't change him out, and you fired Brian Johnson. Nick fired a better coordinator and kept the worst one and Kevin Patullo on. Make that make sense. Brian Johnson had the 7th best offensive output, and they fired him. Kevin Patullo's 24th. 24th, and they're keeping him. Make that make sense. Bro, your quarterback is not better. Stop it. He's a stiff to Josh Allen. There was more rhythm and more flow. So wait a minute. Why is Nick keeping his buddy on? And you changed out a coordinator. You changed him out. And he had beaten all those good defenses. He beaten Todd Bowles in the season too. Where was the defense ranked at 23? Defense fell apart like it is now. Since the Eagles went back-to-back with Brian Johnson and Vic Fangio, you could have fired just Sean Desai. And Desai was 10-1 when you replaced him. That's not a bad take. Schedule is harder. You're right. But remember something. The 22 season, the 23 schedule was hard. Remember? 22, you had a last place schedule. Okay? You were a wild card team at 21. Wasn't a last place schedule, but it was in the middle of the room. The 23, you had because you went to the Super Bowl, you had a tough schedule. So Kevin Patullo right now, the guy who had a pretty decent schedule was Kellen Moore. He didn't have the toughest schedule on the planet. Brian Johnson and KP both have had tougher schedules because they're coming off of Super Bowl appearances. We don't even have back-to-back home games this year, which is insane. It might be one of the only teams this year in the NFL that has that distinction. I can't believe that. The teams we face this year, we want to play harder to beat the Super Bowl champions. Yeah, I want an easier road to the Super Bowl. I get what you're saying. You want to be prepped and ready to rock when you get in there, having played tough competition. But, Sue, you already did that earlier in the year with that resume you've built up. It wasn't firing Desai. It was timing more than anything, I thought. They were 10-1. You had beaten Allen and the Dolphins. By the way, how about that coach down in Miami? That thing was 2-5. They're 6-7. And if they win this weekend, the Dolphins are 7-7 and back in the playoff race with 3 remaining. Crazy as that. Shows you the NFL week to week. I don't know if this makes me a pessimist, but we are one fortunate Jalen Hurts concussion away from Patullo looking like a genius. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere near that. I'm not wishing anybody injured at all. Eagles could just focus on health over seeding at this point, Sills. Not a bad take. Because I'm telling you right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in a meltdown. They lost to a 2-win Saints team. Carolina's winning that division. Unless Carolina shits the bed. They're winning it. Nick fired Brian Johnson. Was Hurts because a supporter. Frandon was allowing Hurts to throw the ball in attempts to develop him. KP is Nick's friend who does what he's told. It's easy to see why KP is safe. It's a great take. It's a great take. Hurts was more in line with Brian. KP is obviously more in line with Nick. Actually, it's a great take. I agree. So is Jaden Daniels' body not built for the NFL, or has he just been unlucky? Well, guess what? Unlucky, I don't care about unlucky or lucky. I care, are you playing Sunday? And if he's not there, there's a problem. Okay? There's a problem. You got a problem. If you're not able to go out and play, and you're not there and you're not available, there's a problem. This might be another Doug situation. No way. Nick's not going to bring up any kind of heat. He's not. Marsh, I don't think Nick would fight for him. Nick's not going to fight for him. Nick's told what to do. If Sirianni wants to be the head coach of the Eagles, he does what he's told, not what he wants. Nick is the biggest problem. And Nick, you guys are pointing at the wrong people. Nick's not the problem. It's the way the structure of the whole thing's set up. Your head coach is as toothless as the head coach in Dallas. I mean, head coach in Dallas has no say. Not when your owner has 2 radio shows a week. Let's go Chargers. Hey. Whole time Nick being a yes man and a CEO, if you get a very good offensive mind in and keep Vic Stav, should win with this talent in Jalen. Yeah. Like if you had a Matt LaFleur, yes. If you had a play caller, but the play caller would not want Hurts as a quarterback. There's a reason why you don't hire coordinators for Jalen. You're hiring him for a system. Michael Irvin told you that. Certain coordinators know how to use players that are in the huddle. Some coordinators have a system, like Chan Gailey. Michael Irvin said he was in a system with Chan Gailey, and Chan Gailey wanted to make the system work. Michael Irvin was like, wait a minute. I am the fucking passing offense. That's not how Chan Gailey looks at it, and that's not how the Eagles. Here, for instance, how many times do you ever remember Alvin Harper getting more catches than Michael Irvin in a game back in the day? That never happened. You think T. Higgins gets more catches than Jamar Chase? That's not happening. Only in Philly could you see a game where Devontae has more catches. That's a product of a system. Devontae Smith should never have more catches in a game or in a year than A.J. Brown. It's criminal. It's criminal. The offense goes through Brown, not through Devontae. Devontae's T. Higgins. Good player. Excellent player. But my offensive passing game doesn't go through fucking Devontae Smith. My passing game goes through Puka Nacua. Then Devontae Adams. That's what great coordinators do. You have a superstar player like Puka Nacua, you're not fucking getting as Devontae Adams is great. They have better pass catchers in Los Angeles than you do in Philly. It's not close. Because you got a quarterback that knows how to spread the ball around, and you got a play caller who knows how to get the ball to him. It's not close. You got the 24th ranked passing offense, and you can't get the football to either guy. I don't know. You tell me. Okay? Well, dude, I'd like to wait a minute. It'd be great to dick ride your where's that guy? It'd be great to dick ride your passing team, but you can't. It's been 2 years now. Adams has the most touchdowns in the NFL, and he's the number 2 guy in the here. To make my point, because you guys need points being made to you. Here's the Rams. Here's the Rams. It's not that hard, really, but hey, I get it sometimes. Puka Nacua right now has 93 catches. And Devontae Adams has 56. And Nacua has 1,100 yards right now. And Devontae Adams has 700 yards. And Devontae Adams is the number 2 guy. And what's he trending towards? He's trending towards 1,000 yards, 939. And Puka Nacua right now is trending towards 1,600 yards. What do you think's the fucking number 1 guy in Los Angeles? Devontae Adams? No. Puka Nacua is the number 1 target. The offense goes through him first. The Rams look dangerous. They might be the most balanced team in the NFL. They are the most balanced team in the NFL. When did let's see here. So it's hard to deal with an organization that planning more for 26 than 25. We said that. Okay? Who fucking cares? They do. And who cares? Well, tonight you'll find out who cares. That's exactly what Barkley says. Doesn't seem anybody cares on the sidelines. You have a coach who can't call plays or rally the troops. When things are going our way, what does Nick do? How many times have I asked you that? What's Sirianni's job? There's only one job he has. That's to be a yes man to Howie. Justin Jefferson said yesterday, after 2 balls for 11 yards, I don't care how many TDs I get if we win. Sure he does. And he doesn't get paid on wins. He gets paid on his numbers and his production. Slagger, that sounds good for you. He's telling you that because you need to hear that. That's not how he gets paid. If he got 2 catches a game for 11 yards, you think he's making $40 million? Fucking use your brain. Puka's way more of a system wide receiver than Smith. Puka Nacua is a system quarterback. There's no such thing as a system receiver or system quarterback. There's no such thing. Every quarterback has his own thumbprint and his own DNA. Everybody has their own style of play. Foles had one. Wentz had one. Vic had one. Hurts has one. Nobody plays the same fucking style. Every quarterback does something shitty and great and exceptional and average. You've got to find that stuff. That's what Ben Johnson's doing with that Caleb Williams guy. Caleb Williams is not very good. But he's athletic and runs around and does off-script shit. His best football is off-script. When they have him in a tight-knit offense, he's terrible. He's terrible. When he's off-script making plays, he's exceptional. That's why you have a tough time evaluating him. Because when you watch him from the pocket, you're like, no. You watch him in space, you're like, wow. He's going to make 5 or 6 of those plays in a game that it just blows your mind. I mean, Chicago had no right being in that Green Bay game. They really didn't. Because their offense was terrible. Outside of their run game, their pass game is not very good. NFC is a quarterback wasteland. I think the NFC is a better division. Excuse me. I think the NFC is a better conference than the AFC. I do. Seals Puka's effort is crazy. You see his catches. I can't believe he's the 5th rounder. BYU was it, right? Tremendous football player. Tremendous player. Seals, would you hire Ronald Curry as the Eagles OC next year? I'd hire anybody that Nick says I want to hire. And I'd go opposite of Nick because I'm looking to get a quarterback coach and an offensive coordinator. But remember something too, Kyle. If that guy hasn't worked with Nick, the chances of him being hired are nil. I think so. If they lose 4 straight, I absolutely think that you're in trouble. 4 straight, you put yourself back in the conversation of the East being up for grabs again. If you lose tonight, that Dallas loss that they had to Detroit, they're back in the room again. You're a game and a half up. Yo, Sills, what do you think about the 2-point conversion without Sanders? What's your take on Stefanski? I never got that. By the way, I thought the 300-plus yards he threw and the touchdowns and when he ran for, I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. It is the Titans. Still, he's a rookie. I had no problem. Stefanski, I don't know what he's doing with him. If I was Shedeur Sanders, I'd want out of him. I'd do everything in my power to get out of Cleveland. You're dying there. You're going to die there. Who's better, Puka or Jamar? I'll take Puka Nacua. I think he's more physical. Jamar Chase is spectacular in athleticism. That catch he made in Buffalo last night in the snow and in the driving snowstorm was spectacular. But Puka just, I don't know, man. There's something about him. He's just a ball player, man. I like him. It's all gravy when we're boring and winning is the number one thing. But when we're boring and we fucking suck, honestly, I hate these motherfuckers on offense. Corporate B pumper. Pump. That offense is terrible. Of all the contending teams, you're not worse than Tampa. Tampa right now is terrible. Green Bay, Green Bay's offense is weird. It is. I'm not impressed with them. Love, if you look at the numbers, he's playing great. I get it. Chase took him to the Super Bowl. You mean Burrow did, but I got it. I hate all them bums on offense. So as bad as this team is, they can still go to the Super Bowl. Look at here. I don't think you're a bad team. I think there's so much parity in the NFC right now. There's just not a really great team. I think the Rams are probably the best. But outside of the Rams, 49ers, I don't buy anybody. Seattle and Sam Darnold, I still can't get over a year ago. Last game of the regular season, first game in the postseason, this guy blew dog. I love it. I love it when them Notre Dame guys are moaning. Get this, Notre Dame has won 2 national titles in the last 50 years. And the last one they won was 37 years ago. I mean, they make it sound like these guys are some sort of like high-powered like program. Really? LSU's been more of a high-powered program. Clemson has been more of a high-powered program in the last 50 years than what Notre Dame has been. I mean, Clemson has won 3 national titles in the last 50 years. Notre Dame has won 2, and the last one was almost 40 years ago. Come on, man. Eagles win comfortably tonight. Have they won comfortably at all this year? I don't buy Darnold at all, Sills. He shit the bed in the big games against the Rams. He ain't no big game quarterback. I saw him. He had those 4 picks in that Rams game earlier in the year. I'm with you. Hit the like button, guys. Appreciate you. Very much. Absolutely. Everybody's moaning. I haven't even got to Chris Sims yet. Undressing and blaming completely Jalen Hurts for the fucking offensive ills. He is to blame. How is Jalen Hurts not the 100%? Look, Chris Sims is just echoing shit that I say. Here, let me ask you this. How many people believe that the offensive passing attack in the offense is completely 100% on Hurts? How many people believe that? Now, I'm going to make a case that it is. You ready? Okay. Well, the quarterback's limited. He's not a very good passer. He doesn't have a high complex offense. Why would I hire a high complex guy like a John Gruden? So I'm going to keep it simple. That's why I can hire simple offensive coordinators. I'm really not going to ask him to do a lot. Can you imagine this? You have a normal playbook, and when you have a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, you take 75% away from the coordinator. You're calling 25% of the playbook. You got to make those 25% of the playbook work because the style of play, because the quarterback skill set doesn't fit the playbook that the coordinator has. They got to develop new ways of getting the ball. That's what Ben Johnson does with Caleb Williams. You think let me ask you this. Let me go here with this. How many people believe that Ben Johnson is running the same offense he ran in Detroit last year with Jared Goff? How many people believe that? Does anybody believe that he's running his playbook that he had in Detroit for Jared Goff that he's running for Caleb Williams? How many people believe that? That Ben Johnson, the head football, get this. You think Ben Johnson has a playbook in front of Caleb Williams that's the same that Jared Goff has? Does it matter? Yeah, it does. Because you got to get the best out of the skill of the player that fits his skill set. He's not running Jared Goff's fucking offense in Chicago. You drunk? Because the quarterback is limited. Sims came off the top rope on him. Hey, you know what I say to people? Hey, welcome to Big Sales, bro. Come on in. There's room on the Xander Krause victory parade float. You get to sit there back there and root it all up there. Come on, everybody. Come on in here. How you doing? Fucking out of here. So now you got a sex doll in the locker room. You got the quarterback now listening to the head coach and play calling. Barkley says you have no game on the sidelines. It's Sirianni is sitting there still glazing over Howie. Sounds like you're going to have a hell of a football game tonight. Hey, but I'm feeling pretty fucking good about tonight. How you doing? All right. Man, this is going to be a lot of fun tonight. I cannot wait. Oh, did I tell you my score? 28-17. Chargers. I got 28-17 Chargers tonight. Let me do something here with my boy here. Hang on here. I got to make sure that, because I don't see Cobb giving me response back. I got to double check that we're good. Here, then we're going to come up with Xander here. Let's see here. All right. So without further ado, don't forget our pregame, the halftime show, and also our postgame. Without further ado, what a big night here on JAKIB again. Is this a must-win game for the Philadelphia Eagles tonight? Without further ado, and Gary Cobb will be there at 4:30. He is my friend Big Z.
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
I'd like to thank you. And by the way, I'm going to congratulate myself in joining the SEC's party, also known as the College Football Playoff. And I'm glad to see we're both in it, so we got something to root for. I love it, man. What'd you make of that thing last night or yesterday afternoon?
What, the College Football Playoff?
Yeah.
Well, I think the whole thing is a little messed up, to be honest with you. I don't think any one team or one thing is at fault. I will say I'm an Alabama guy. I can see why people are upset. I mean, I don't think they should be punished for losing to one of the best teams in football by making
you shouldn't be punished for making your conference champion.
Yeah, like Ole Miss doesn't make the conference game. Like there's a lot of, but at the same time, I don't think that's I think Notre Dame should have been in.
Yep.
I do. I think putting the Sun Belt winner in because he's the Sun Belt winner in is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. JMU and Tulane should not be in it.
No.
And I think they should go more off AP. And to be honest, I hope they do away with this stupid committee. I don't know where this committee came from. I don't know what they watch. I don't know what their biases are, but they always seem to fuck this up. No matter how they do it. When it was 4-team, they did it messed up. When it's 12-team, now they continue to do it messed up. Look, I'm happy as a fan that Alabama's going to play. I don't think my team is right now very good. They got a lot of offensive problems. They can't run the ball anymore. Quarterback's been on a 4-game vacation. I don't know what he's doing. He's not playing good football. Defense isn't the same right now. Alabama's not the same football program they were, 5 weeks ago, and they were steamrolling teams left and right. But it is what it is. I will say Big Sills has turned me into a little bit of a Hurricane fan just because I love Big Sills, so I do like to see the Hurricanes do well. I was happy that the Hurricanes got in, and I freaking love Fernando Mendoza. I love that kid. I love wearing your emotions
He's
on
gutsy.
his. He's gutsy and he's a breath of fresh air, man. Everybody's trying to be politically correct in the world. Say the right thing. Be the professional. This dude gets up on the mic.
He's going to play in the NFL.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just love the emotion on the sleeve element of them. So they were great games this weekend in terms of, that night game versus Ohio State. I think Ohio State's got a good chance to get them back in the playoffs. But it's a good one. I'm really excited, man. I think college football this year has been really good.
You were doing the same thing I was doing. I go, who the fuck is 92? That kid for Ohio State was annihilating.
That kid was a stud.
He was the best player on the field.
I agree. He was everywhere in that game. Everywhere.
Yeah, your Alabama quarterback is on a 4-game hurts right now. So.
Yeah, he is. No, there's no doubt. I mean, he was playing like a stud earlier in the year. I mean, I thought he was going to be in Heisman conversations.
He was.
And, I don't know what happened. Ty is not moving the ball. He's inaccurate with his throws. He's indecisive.
I thought there were some injuries in the O-line.
What's that?
I thought there were some injuries in the O-line.
Yeah, there were. And they were missing, obviously, Overton, too. He's a big defensive line player. So, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like Alabama's, in the ballpark of like a real contender to win it. They made the playoff, but are they a contender to win it? Right now, it doesn't feel like
I still think it's Georgia, Indiana, or Ohio State. Someone's going to have to prove me you're going to knock one of them 3 teams off.
Yeah, I like Georgia to win it all.
Yeah, I do too. I think Georgia wins it all. All right, speaking of win tonight, what you got, bro? I mean, no Jalen Carter, no Lane Johnson. You are going to get Justin Herbert tonight, okay?
I got an Eagles win, but let me tell you, I do not feel confident in my prediction. If you're a betting man, don't listen to my ass, all right? Do not bet on my prediction. I got 21-17 Birds, but like you just said, I think we've delegitimized the loss of the 2 best trench players in the football team. This is a team that with Harbaugh has that old school mentality where you got to dominate the trenches. Now, their trenches are banged up too. They're missing their 2 tackles. They're not that great, but if they're getting, the running back Hampton, now he hasn't played in a while. How good will he look? How many touches does he get? I don't know. But Jalen Carter, best defensive lineman. Lane Johnson, best offensive lineman. They're out of the game. The offense has been one of the worst offenses in football for, I don't know, 11 out of 12 games.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't feel good about them. And if the defense can't hold up, it doesn't feel too good. So I feel like the Eagles are going to win, but I don't think the Eagles are going to answer the questions that we all want to see of, are the Eagles back? Are the Eagles back to dominating? Are the Eagles back to outplaying their opponent, out-physicaling their opponent, beating people in the line of scrimmage, beating people in the trenches, running the football well? I don't know if they're going to do any of those things well. We'll find out tonight. I think it's a big game, dude. I think it's a must-win game.
It is.
It's as must-win of a non-must-win game as you'll find, in my opinion. It really is. You can't drop 3 straight. You drop 3 straight at this point of the year, boy, that's going to be tough. That's going to be an interesting week of content here on JAKIB Sports. So we'll see.
First month of the season, you're 4-0. Since then, you're 4-4.
Yeah.
Okay. Does the defense reemerge? You just kind of briefly broached it. Do you think the defense shows up again? And one thing you said about the trenches, I think Harbaugh can coach around guys that are injured better than the Eagles can coach around on offense.
No, maybe.
I don't think those guys are skilled offensive play callers on that side of the ball in Philly, whereas I think Jim Harbaugh can coach around mistakes.
Well, and they got
he's a better coach.
They got the quarterback talent advantage. I mean, Herbert's got he's one of those quarterbacks that when nothing's going, he can make something happen. That's just the type of player.
He averages 30 yards a game too, but I don't know how
much. Very talented guy. I mean,
I don't know if that'll be a factor tonight because of that left hand being broken.
Yeah, right. Me too. I don't even know if he's going to play. To be honest with you, I still think there could be an element of gamesmanship here where they're saying he's going to play, and then remember, look at it from the Chargers' perspective. They're trying to get into the plus, but I get it. They need a win, but non-conference game, they got an easier schedule after that. I don't know. I mean, we'll see if Herbert plays in this game. I think he will, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on whether he'll play or not. But, no, I think that's a good point by you with the coaching. I mean, I think, look, It's time for Jalen Hurts to play like a franchise quarterback. I'm done hearing it's everything else. It's the running game. Okay, then why are we paying a franchise quarterback? The franchise quarterback needs everything around the franchise quarterback to be perfect. Then what are we doing? It's time for Jalen Hurts to say, all right, Saquon, you can't carry the load. I'm going to carry it right now. All right, A.J. Brown, you want to bitch? I'll get on my back. Let's go. All right, offensive line, you're banged up. Let's go. I mean, that's what I think the expectation should be of Jalen Hurts. And I don't think that's unfair. I think Jalenites should have that same expectation. That's what every team should have of a quarterback that they pay the money to, that they want to elevate their program and their franchise. That's what you need from Jalen Hurts tonight, in my opinion. I don't know if you're going to get it because we haven't seen it really all year, really in 2 years. I mean, he didn't have to be that last year. He certainly didn't have to be that.
His last best game he played was the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he also
had
the
Minnesota game.
Have you seen the level of the people get mad when you say this? Remember a couple weeks ago, I said on this show, like maybe 5 to 8, somewhere in there. I said that Super Bowl is going to be remembered differently in 10 years as it is now.
Oh, yeah. So
because it's going to be a defensive Super Bowl. If you look at the defensive numbers in that game, and I'm not trying to take away from Jalen. He made a lot of great plays. He did a lot of good things in that game. That was a historic defensive performance. That was the worst Mahomes performance in the Mahomes era. That's how bad his EPA per play was in the first half of that game. They didn't get past the halfway point of the field, middle of the field.
50-yard line.
50-yard line for 10 drives. And the defense gave a pick six in the first half. Remember, Jalen had an interception in the first half. Again, Jalen did good things in that game. But let's not forget what made the Eagles last year. And that's why I'm concerned about the defense right now, because if the defense falls apart a little bit, that's going to be a real big hit to the identity of the team. I mean, the team has been running and defense. If you lose running and defense, I don't know how good the team is going to be. I really don't.
I don't see that they're just going to all of a sudden flip a switch and they're going to just show up tonight when the football team, you think you're getting healthier, you're not. You think you are who you are now. Everyone's keep doing. You know what kills me is that everyone is starting to do this. Well, they're going to flip a switch. Well, bro, you got 5 left.
Yeah.
The lights have not come on.
Is there credence to are you trying to maybe save some of the QB runs for later I don't know. I'm with you. I've never viewed football as coaches are saving players.
I've never heard a coach ever coach like that in the NFL.
Right. That's what I think. But you do hear that where, maybe Jalen does start. I do think Jalen's going to run more.
Now, Mahomes does do that or did do that. You're seeing more Mahomes running now because of the less talent that they have in the huddle. You see more RPOs and you see him running more. Now, Mahomes does do that. One thing about your Charger take, remember something why the Chargers have to play Herbert. Let's take the Patriots out of this at 11-2. Let me count the teams. The Bills are 9-4. You've got a 8-5 Texans. You've got an 8-5 Colts. You've got a 6-7 Kansas City team that's still fighting. And now you've got the Dolphins in there too. And remember, Pittsburgh's going to win that division at 7-6, maybe. And Jacksonville's sitting at 9-4. So you've got between 8-5 and 9-4. Check this out. How many teams? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6 teams at either 9-4 or 8-5. Bro, you can't drop a fucking game.
Dude, look at what the Bears did.
Put Trey Lance in there.
The Bears went from first in the NFC to 7th.
Correct.
One loss to a Packer team, to a good divisional opponent.
And a good game.
A great game.
That Bear team.
Me too, dude. I'm telling you right now, that Bear team is not – I'm not a huge Caleb Williams guy.
No
way.
But
But he does have crazy talent. The question will be if he can put it all together. I love the way Ben Johnson coaches.
How about the way he coaches him?
Coaches, the mentality, the approach, the everything. I mean, that to I don't know. Maybe I'm just jumping on the hot name right now, but good night. I freaking love the way that guy coaches that team.
Listen to what I'm going to say to you, and this is why to you. Have you been saying the whole time? I want to double check here before I put words in your mouth here. Have you been saying that You think KP's just a pawn in this whole fucking thing? Is that
In a
your
way?
take?
Yeah, in a way.
Okay.
I don't know to that extent, but in a way, yeah, you could use that for the sake of your conversation.
Okay. Do you think that Jared Goff is a more high-level offensive passing quarterback from the pocket than Caleb Williams?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right at this stage of their career, yes.
Do you think Ben Johnson has the same playbook in Chicago for Caleb Williams that he had in Detroit?
I mean, I get where you're going, but anybody who says yes to that is insane. Did anybody see the 4th down play? You think he would have rolled Jared Goff to the left? It's not happening. No, it's a different playbook.
Okay.
Different playbook.
Well, to your point of what you've been trying to say, Kevin Petullo runs 25% of the Eagle playbook. Can you imagine having 75% of the playbook taken away because the quarterback on what Chris Sims says is limited? He has 25%.
Did you hear that Chris Sims bite?
You know what? I haven't heard it, but I've heard people comment on it.
Yeah,
give me context on it and tell me what the synopsis is that you took away was from that.
The synopsis, there's multiple, but Chris went on a 6-minute rant, and I always say this about people. If I don't like what a commentator says, I try and not like what he says, not attack the commentator. So I put it up, this is interesting what Sim says, and then you get 80 Eagles saying, oh, he's an asshole, he's a Jalen hater, he's this, he's that, he never made it in the league. I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit what he did in the league. I'm listening to what he said and seeing if it has any credence. I think what he's saying has a lot of credence. He was a little hard on Jalen for me. I mean, I'll call out Jalen. I mean, I don't think this thing is entirely 100% Jalen Hurts. I think there is a combination of fact. It's football. There's no such thing as one problem. He put it a lot on Jalen Hurts. What I do think he's right about is that the reason the offense is bottling up and goes through these spurts of looking like they cannot move the ball is because of the style of quarterback.
It is.
And 100%. I've watched this since Jalen was 18 years old, man.
It is.
It's the same thing. If you take away the run game from Jalen Hurts, he struggles to move the ball and keep defenses honest by throwing the ball consistently through the air. It's always been his knock. Always. That was the scouting report coming out. It was the reason that they went to the running game last year. It's the reason they haven't been a high-powered passing team this year.
Has he echoed a lot of the stuff that I've been saying the last 5 years?
Oh, yeah. But you become maybe a little soft.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's all him.
He went pretty hard on Jalen.
I think I think there's injury factors, and I think they hired the wrong coordinator for him. I just think they don't hire the right coaches for him. He's had one coach that really did his solid for him, and that was Shane. Because remember something, Kellen Moore didn't do dick for Jalen Hurts.
No,
he did nothing. How about get this? How about that guy with a nothing offense and a nothing roster goes into Tampa and wins that game against the Bucs? That's embarrassing.
That Saints guy's not bad, man. Shocker.
He's not, but I doubt he's the guy. They're going to go into the draft.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. The Sims bite was interesting. It's worth your time. Still 6 minutes.
I'm going to.
You'll probably have a full 4-hour show.
I'm going to try to
6 minutes. But,
I'm going to try to get Chris on. I am. I'm going to try to get him on the program. We've had him on before, and we'll try to get him on again here. Okay, about Barkley tonight. What do you think he does? You think Barkley has a night tonight?
I think you're going to have to, because I don't think they're going to pass the ball well tonight. I mean, you got the second best passing defense in football, who runs predominantly zone based with some of the best secondary players in the league. I mean, let's call a spade, but that is legitimately the kryptonite of Jalen Hurts: zone defense and great secondary players. I mean, I don't think that's something that you want to just start slinging the ball around. So you want to get the ball moving on the ground. With no Lane Johnson, how well are they going to do with that? I don't know. And by the way, what did the Bears show a week ago on tape on how to run on this defensive line? I'm not saying that performance is going to happen.
Hit the edges.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I mean, they're going to figure something out here on moving the football on the ground. So that's going to be a big challenge. But for the Eagles, it almost feels like if Barkley doesn't get going, we're going to suck. But remember, I did watch the Eagles win 2 games this year consecutively versus 2 of the best offenses in football by scoring 10 points and 13 points. So, I don't know. Can we get 4 Jake Elliott field goals tonight and win the game? Anything is possible. Anything is possible. This is why I'm picking the Eagles to win the game. But does feel like it's Saquon or bust tonight. Maybe the
By the
vibes
way,
money will help.
all super chats will be read at the end of the segment, as we always do. And please hit the like button. You guys are killing it. Don't forget our pregame, halftime, and postgame tonight, too, as we prep you for that game tonight at SoFi. All right. So what do you make of Bart? Can I tell you how I took the Barkley comment? Boy, I'll tell you what. I heard John, how he took it. And John took it like a media guy. And I'm going to tell you how I took it as a player. It's like they're going through the motions when they're on practice or doing all the right things. But when they get in the game, they're not energized or motivated.
Yeah, because they suck. They can't move the ball to save their life. It feels like nails on a chalkboard to get the ball to two of the best receivers in football. The running game gets bottled up. Every first down.
Not a sense of urgency.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, part of that is
it is the execution.
Yeah, I mean, part of that, it gets exponentially worse quick when you can't execute because you come off and you're like, what the hell? Yeah, again, all these 3 and outs. But the other part of it is like, dude, this defense is cracking, and everybody can see that.
It is.
Man. The defense is cracking. The offense is gonna have to do more. And this is where I brought up Jalen earlier, and people get mad at me. It's like, guys, the offense sucks. I'm not saying it's not Saquon. I'm not saying it's the offensive line's good. When your offense sucks, you need heroics from your quarterback. That's what you need. That's where the Eagles are right now. I've lost confidence in the run game. I've lost confidence in the offensive line. I've lost confidence in Jalen Hurts. I've lost confidence in the passing game. That I lost that almost a year ago. It's time for Jalen Hurts to either lift the offense up or we're going to be what we're going to be, and we're going to die a painful death this year in the league. And that's what it feels like is coming. So it's time to put up or shut up on Jalen Hurts.
Who is under the most pressure tonight, Hurts or Sirianni?
Hurts. I never seen so much conversation in the city in the Hurts era of where he needs to play well. And I agree with all of it, by the way.
I think it's a crossover game for him. What I mean by that is this. You've got a bunch of people still that are doing this. All right, the things looked a little wobbly. He has won a lot of games. You know what? They're coming off a Super Bowl. He's been to 2 and 3 years. I'm still going to give the guy a hall pass because of the accomplishments here, man. So I get the noise, but I'm still going to be – this guy loses a game tonight. It'll be the second time in 3 years you guys have gone through one of these wild swings where you guys go through these losing streaks. I think the losing streaks matter more to the Eagle fans than actually the Super Bowl themselves, because who are you really? You have these great – if you're healthy, everybody's playing great. The football team excels. Your quarterback can't elevate you, though.
Well, he can, but he hasn't. I think he can. I still hold that. I still think he can.
Okay, see, you're one of those guys. I don't believe that. I don't believe if things are sideways and you have injuries on that team, I don't believe that guy can elevate you.
Well, let's be real. I mean, I don't disagree with that, but don't you think that's true with most quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Like, you need something.
Yeah.
It's football. This is not boxing.
There's 5 dudes in the league that I think can do that.
And even those guys are struggling because they get to the final moments and they can't get to Josh Allen. I think he's the best player in football.
I saw the Rams lose to Carolina last week.
Yeah, so I think every quarterback does need help. I'm not saying that Jalen should be able to overcome every obstacle. I'm saying though, when you are in a crux point and you still feel like you have an opportunity to get into the playoffs and go and make a run for the Super Bowl, and the offense has been as bad as it has, let's go. Like it's on you, dude. That's part of being a quarterback.
Xander, tell me if you think this is an opinion now. Everyone, this is not set in stone. This is not actual. Here's an opinion. Don't you think it's easier to catch up with a skill-setted player like Ertz than it is for a guy like a Justin Herbert or a Josh Allen because there's so much skill there? Don't you think it's easier to catch up with him because you know why? He's so limited. He throws to the corners. He rolls right. He's not very good in the pocket. He takes a ton of sacks. Everything. There's a book on him now.
Hurts is dependent on more variables, in my opinion.
Okay.
So it's harder to maintain year in and year out, right? When you have the passer, you can change receivers. You could have injuries on the offensive line. And that's not to mean you're going to overcome everything every time. It's just when you're Jalen's skill set, you need a great running game every year. Can't go down, or else you see what happens. You need a great offensive line every year, or else you see what happens. Offense can't move the ball. So I think Jalen's style is dependent on more variables. Now, he does have very good highs too. So, when the moment does present itself and he does have the things around him, he's shown he can make the plays. The question right now is, for 12 games this year, we don't look like we have all the things around him, or really even anywhere close. The running game's not around him. The offensive line's not that good. I mean, none of it around him is good. So this is where I think the exposure is a little bit higher for him, where he doesn't have the skill set to make up for some of those easier or make up for some of those losses, in an easier way, where some quarterbacks like Mahomes, I mean, he won a Super Bowl throwing a ball to Juju Smith-Schuster. I mean, that's insane. But that's because of the skill set of the quarterback. Now, let's be real, that skill set's very rare. I mean,
Brady,
there's only a couple of those guys in the league at any given time.
Brady, when Brady was throwing to people that were undrafted and winning Super Bowls is insane. In a couple of minutes, we're going to find out, I believe, if I'm not wrong, if Herbert's starting tonight, right?
Why in a couple of minutes? I thought it was 90 minutes before they had to give.
Oh, I thought it was 4:00. You had to have the
injury. Oh, is that what it is for Monday games?
I thought you had to have the injury.
Lane Johnson tweeted out the eyes emoji. What does he mean here?
Keep an eye on me?
He can't go tonight. Didn't they already rule him out?
On the December 6th one, they did. On the December 6th. Now, is he eligible to come off? Has he been? Is tonight 4 weeks?
I thought they ruled him out already. I'm pretty sure they ruled Lane out. So that would maybe be for next week, but I don't know why he would post that right now going into the game.
Okay. Well, is he eligible to come off tonight, though?
No, I think it's next week.
Okay.
No, they never put him on IR. Lane.
Well, then he might be able.
Yeah, he could go whenever. He's not on IR. They never put him on IR.
You think he did that to fuck with the Chargers?
I don't know what he did. It's a little late to do that. He should have done that on Friday.
How about this? I mean, yeah, I thought you had to have your injury update out by 4:00 Eastern time for a Monday night game. Okay, I mean, because Lane, like you said, that's right. They never put Lane onto injury report. All right, what do you think of Sirianni? That comment about him being more involved in the offense.
I don't think it changes.
What did John say about it?
I don't really want to relive it.
Okay, all right. What do you think? What do you think?
He didn't say too much. I mean, I don't think it changes much. I mean, this is the Sirianni offense. He's told us this every single year. It's the Sirianni offense. So, the play callers change. The offense stays the same because it's built around the quarterback. It shouldn't be this hard for people to understand this. I don't know why people think Kevin Patullo got elevated and ripped up everything the Eagles have done and then just came up with all new 4 plays that all suck. Some people think that's not what happened. It's Nick Sirianni's offense. I don't think it changes a whole lot. In fact, I don't really make anything of it.
What do you think has been a better offense, 2023 or 25?
23. Much better.
You were 7th.
Yeah. Much better offense in 23.
Then why is Nick changing that out and you're 25th in offense right now and he's staying with the guy? Is it because Nick has more influence over Kevin Patullo than he did over
Nick
Brian
has more
Johnson?
To lose with Kevin Patullo.
What?
Nick has more to lose with Kevin Patullo.
Huh.
Brian Johnson wasn't Nick's guy. Kevin is.
So you're saying Brian was Hurts's guy?
Brian was brought in, for Hurts or whatever. He wasn't Nick's guy, though. Kevin came here with Nick. So elevating him for Nick is different than elevating Brian, where Nick feels less allegiance to fall on the sword for Brian as opposed to, Kevin Patullo, who's been his guy. I don't think he's going to fall on the sword for him. Or I think he will fall on the sword for him. Because he should, by the way. It's his offense.
We're going to read all super chats here in a minute. Please hit the like button. Go ahead. What were you going to finish up saying?
No, I was just going to say that, that's what he should do. I mean, this eventually Nick is going to have to explain this. It's your offense and you keep telling us that. Why does it look this way? And if he doesn't ever say it's because of the quarterback, then people are going to continue to call for him to get fired. Falling on the sword. What do we do? What do you expect fans to think here? You know, you keep saying it's your offense. All right, the offense sucks. What's the reason for that? Your offense sucks? It's built around the quarterback. So the quarterback, now I get it. He's never going to come out and say it, but, you know, I don't know. How much more has to happen for it to become abundantly clear to the overwhelming majority of people? I mean, we still have probably, I don't know, 30% of people, maybe more than that, in this chat who think it's all Kevin Patullo.
It's not. As a matter of fact, it's probably 15% him. Now, it becomes more accentuated when the game's on and he's in game calling and you see spotty play calling. That's where he is not, and everyone sees the glaring. Because you know why? He's kind of the front man for the ills of the team. Like you know, he's the front man. But when you're talking about putting the game plan together, you're talking about the coordinator being hired. When Kevin Patullo gets out there and you see the spotty play calling and you see those zone runs going nowhere, they are him and they are Nick. But the front man is Kevin Patullo. He is. Now, again, that's Nick. And I'll tell you, man, you lose that football game, there's going to be a lot of howling at that head football coach.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. I mean, the thing that confuses me is, and I'm sure Jalenites are going to love this comment. The thing that confuses me is, like, Hurts comes on this press conference. I don't know, was it Friday or Saturday, whenever he did it. And he's like, you know, in the mini bye, I've been looking at all the plays and even previous years of offense and sequencing and plays. And, you know, all the people are like, oh, look, now he's got to try and be the offensive coordinator too. And I'm like, is that, like, Jalen, are they running the plays that you like or are they not?
I'm tired of him.
I'm telling you, I'm getting a little tired of it too. It's like, it's almost like he's intentionally trying to say, let me say exactly what an offensive coordinator is supposed to be doing and say I'm doing that this week so that everybody can continue to think that the offensive coordinator is a trash can. Like, dude, you're the one on the fucking field. All right? You got the autonomy at the line of scrimmage, don't you, dude?
Yeah,
I mean, what the fuck? I'm sick of these.
He never takes accountability, man. He really doesn't. And you know what?
Know. I'm
not talking about those fucking manufactured words. I'm talking actions. You know, you could go out there and flap your gums and say all this bullshit and for the camera and that setup. Oh my God, the Hard Knocks is. I mean, if Marty Callner, we had on this program who founded it, saw that thing, he would have laughed at it and went, "What the hell was that?" And I'm like, I'm sick of it, man. Go play a ball game. Act like a leader on the sidelines. I thought Barkley was saying that there's lack of leadership on the sidelines and there's a lack of direction and motivation and a sense of urgency and all of that. You mean to tell me you're going through the motions in practice? If that is what Barkley's really saying, how I took that, you're going through the motions right now. You're not really playing with a sense of urgency. Xander, they got to win. Do you think the Eagles are a Super Bowl team?
At this point, no. No, definitely not. And everybody who thinks they are a Super Bowl team, it has nothing to do with the year 2025. It has everything to do with the resume, which I understand. That's okay. You're allowed to say, look at the Chiefs. Same thing with all the Chiefs fans. All right. I get it. You're allowed to go off resume. 25, if you just look at 25, this team is not even close to a Super Bowl contender. They look like a 15th to 17th best team in the NFL, week in and week out. That's what they look like to me. Now, they could turn it on. Who knows what they end up doing, but they're not in it. I don't think they're playing good football. By the way, we do have some updates on the game tonight if you want them.
Please, let's hear it.
All right, so Amarian Hampton activated off injured reserve, expected to play. Big news. The Chargers did not elevate a quarterback from the practice squad, which would be a sign of confidence that Justin Herbert will play tonight. Marcus Epps has been activated from the reserve, and they're elevating safety Andre Sam. So I don't know if that means Sidney Brown could be, I don't know what that means, but it looks like Marcus Epps will be good to go. Omarion Hampton, Hassan Haskins, and Otita Obo from injured reserve. So those guys are all active, and then that's just it on the quarterback. So no elevation of a quarterback would probably mean it's Herbert time.
Boy, and also a run game tonight. I would expect
Yeah, but dude,
anywhere.
Hampton hasn't played since week 5.
They're going to run him, bro. They're going to that quarterback, that coach quarterback, Jim Harbaugh, man, he's going to run the fuck out of the ball tonight, dude. Why wouldn't you after what you saw the Bears do? Dude, teams have been running the football down your throat the last 3 weeks. He's going to he's going to test that. And no Carter. Here, let me go here. Carter's lack of being in the game means what?
Big. I mean, huge, dude. You win football in the trenches. We love talking about quarterbacks. We love talking about receivers. You win football in the trenches. That's been tried and true at every level, from Pop Warner to the NFL for 100 years plus. 105 years now, whatever it was, whenever they created the damn NFL. 1920 was it, right?
1920.
Yeah. So 125 years. Or 105 years, excuse me. That's how you win. And you're missing your 2 best trench players. Like, that's a big factor. You know, you gave up 281 on the ground last week. Now Carter's on the bench. Now you're replacing him with Byron Young. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Terrible.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's how I feel. So, you know, that's how I feel about it. I don't feel very good about it. They got to figure it out, though. It's professional football. Next man up. Come on, step up.
What do you make of Justin Herbert?
Tremendously talented player. Crazy arm strength. Crazy arm talent. Still have questions on him in big moments. Still have questions on him when the lights are bright. Still have questions on pressure moments.
Now, is that coach putting him in that position like a Brandon Staley? Or is that Herbert? No, I'm not making excuses.
Yeah, I just think he still has a lot to prove. But I do caution everybody on this. You know, people used to say the same narratives about, like, Matthew Stafford. And it was different because Detroit was so bad. But
that's right.
Just because a quarterback doesn't get to a Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl right away, or it doesn't mean you look at them and say, oh, the quarterback sucks. No, they don't. Joe Burrow doesn't suck. Josh Allen doesn't suck. Justin Herbert doesn't suck because they don't have a Super Bowl and Jalen Hurts does. That's not a proper way to evaluate quarterbacks. Justin Herbert is a very good quarterback. He's a little streaky at times for me, and sometimes he makes some really boneheaded decisions. But overall, all in all, very talented player and someone you really got to account for.
In 6 years, he's got 23,000 passing yards, almost 24,000 passing yards in 6 years of play. He's passed for
passing yards does Hurts have in his career?
I think Jalen has 19,000.
How many do you think he'll end his career with?
32, depending. I think somewhere like 32. I think Jalen maybe
17,000.
Jalen's got 17,000. How many years has he been? He's been a starter 5 years and 6 years in the league. So he came out in that Herbert draft.
Yeah, same draft.
Herbert's got 24,000 passing yards.
Does he?
Yeah. He's 23-9.
He can throw the ball, man. Justin Herbert can throw the ball.
Hey, he's got 23-9.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And he's got 158 touchdown passes with only 55 of interceptions. And by the way, look at how many attempts. Take a look at Hurts' attempts compared to Justin Herbert's attempts. He's got 3,322 attempts in 6 years of starting.
Yeah, but did Herbert start his rookie year, though?
He did.
So he does have an extra year starting.
He does.
Yeah,
he does.
So you know. But,
he does. He does. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, only 55. What do you mean only 55? Yeah. I mean, Jalen is 41. So.
Well, he's got 100 touchdowns over his interception rate. So it's 2-1.
Well, look, he's a passer. He's a great passer. Look, I don't think anybody's saying that Jalen Hurts is a better passer than Justin Herbert. I don't think you're breaking news there, my friend.
Oh.
So.
No, I mean, and by the way, his interception to touchdown ratio, one year he threw 23 touchdowns and had 3 picks. I mean, he's gone 31, 38, 25, 20, 23, 21. 66.5 for the amount of attempts. And look at his health.
Do you think
I like him. He's one of the more talented kids in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Do you think rushing yards should matter in a big way for quarterback numbers like that?
For him, on how he moves the sticks, it should. Because without his wheels, we now see him in the pocket. He's below average. But when you put the whole toolbox on the field, yes, I think that has to matter for him.
For Jalen, it does. I agree.
And
Island, what I don't think it speaks to is it doesn't speak to the quality of quarterbacking. You know, like I think a lot of people conflate that. Quarterbacking is a different thing than gaining yards, and that's good. That's a great skill set of Jalen. I'm not saying that Jalen's not great at that, but Jalen's deficiencies in quarterbacking are what I have a problem with. It's not the running. I know he can run. I'm sure he's got, I don't know, triple the amount of running yards that Herbert has. Probably maybe more than that. I don't know.
Well, I think you might be shocked. In 6 years, he's got 1,570 rushing yards and 14 TDs for a guy.
Hertz has 3,500 and 63 touchdowns.
Now, but for a guy who throws the ball 550 times a year, for him having 350 yards rushing and 14 touchdowns on top of the 158 TD passes, bro, that ain't bad. I mean, he averages, look at this. He averages in a game. This year he's averaging 30 yards a game on top of his passing of 300 yards. That's fucking crazy great.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's, I agree with you, though. I've seen him in moments, and to me, I agree with you. I see him in moments sometimes where I go like the same thing. I go, you know, kid, you got to be a little bit more unlike Dak.
It's decision-making. You got to be good decision-making on the fly. I mean, that's a big part of it.
And I get you. By the way, I'm a little biased because I know the kid well, and I like him, and I text him, bro, he's playing. He's playing. He's playing.
Well, no, I agree. I mean, look, you got to make good decisions, but the other part of that is like sometimes you got to pick and choose like your battles of like, I get it. Nobody wants turnovers because turnovers are a big thing. But when you have a passer of the football, like just get used to it. Like
the game's easier.
But you're going to have interceptions, right? Like that's what they do. Look at Dak. The guy comes out, he throws, interception, but he comes right back and he keeps throwing. Guys that throw the ball and guys that trust their arm and guys that have won football games their whole life with their arm, they're not going to get discouraged by a couple picks.
Don't you agree that there's a shorter – do you remember, Xander, when I first came on, I said, guys, you're going to have a shorter window with Jalen Hurts with this style of play than you are with a passing quarterback.
Yeah, you've been
Herbert.
Kind of what we talked about a little bit on the segment.
Well, aren't we seeing that with the beating up of the O-line, the running back? Aren't we seeing that now? That
this is exactly what I meant, Sills, when I said variable dependent.
It's like
you need more things.
There's a shorter window here with that kind of style of play. With a passing guy, that's why those guys play 20 years, Xander. I mean, dual threat quarterbacks don't play 20 years. Look at how Cam Newton looked at the end of his career. That guy could barely lift his arms. He was beat up.
Well, look, as far as it goes,
the Eagles are protecting Hurts too much.
No, I think I don't think so.
I'm talking about not allowing him to run and play his game.
Yeah, I think that more comes from him and his agent.
Oh, from him. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe the agent too, remember?
Yep. Absolutely, Nicole Lynn.
Man, agents are constantly in players' ears. Hey, this is what you got to do to get to the next contract. Hey, make sure you don't do this. Look at Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter's now missed 2 games this year because of his agent.
Xander, funny. I sent Drew Rosenhaus a text, and I'm hoping he comes on the program. Every single.
Well, then don't bash him.
He knows I bash him, but I've bashed him since he was at Miami with me.
Okay.
So I know him like that. So get this. Every year, Xander, you get pages like this. They put them in your locker, and when your contracts are up, they put your salary next to the guy. And you know what it says at the top of the list? Don't be the guy that doesn't think about the next guy. And you're like this. So, okay, that means I have to get more. The league and the Players Association is constantly telling you, don't take less. What Devontae did,
yeah, they were mad at him.
He probably got fucking ruined by the NFLPA because of that. And I guarantee you they're breaking his stones because he took that pay cut. Now we guys are going to be making $50 million in 3 years from now.
Well, who does worse for receivers? Who makes life harder on future receivers? A guy like Devontae Smith who takes a pay cut and outperforms his contract, or a guy like DK Metcalf who's making 33 and is playing gunner on special teams right now because he sucks so bad as a receiver?
Hey, it's all about getting the biggest pay you can for the next guy.
I got you. I
Hey,
get it.
you're talking about being a football player. I'm talking about the business of the game here.
I got you. I know.
Okay. I mean, what line shows up? O-line, D-line?
I guess D-line because the Chargers are missing two tackles on the offensive line. Missing Carter, but that's a trick question. By the way, I woke up feeling dangerous today. Woke up feeling like the Eagles were going to beat the shit out of the Chargers, and they beat me down. I had to go to the dentist today before your show, and they drilling into my mouth and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
What's more painful, the Eagle offense or your dentist?
Oh gosh, Eagle offense. By the way, my dentist is a massive Eagle fan. He loves Jacob Sports, and he's not too happy with the Eagles offense. I'll just say that. He's like, he's like, good conversation today. Now we got to go and watch the crappy Eagles.
Oh my God.
I will refrain from saying who my dentist is, but he's a great guy. He's a great dentist too. No, it wasn't a root canal, Thea. I just had to get wasn't a root canal. Thank God.
You like Harbaugh?
Yeah, I like Harbaugh. He's not my favorite, but I like him.
How come you're like that with him? I'm curious.
I don't really know, dude. I don't know. It's just one of those gut feelings. I never really liked him at Michigan. I always thought he was a little bit of a phony. I liked that from a personal perspective, I like what him and his brother stand for. I like that they do the March for Life every year. I like that stuff, but that's beside football. I don't know. I'm just not a believer, but I don't necessarily have a lot of evidence to give me a reason to dislike him.
He played 16 years as a quarterback in the NFL. And here, I want to show you something. At the University of San Diego, he was 29-6. At Stanford, he was 29-21. In his last year, he won the Orange Bowl, and they were 12-1 in the Pac-12. At Michigan, he was 86-25 and 60-17 in the Big Ten play. In the last 3 years at Michigan, they lost one game in conference play. His bowl games aren't that great, but I'm telling you, as a college guy, he was 144-52. Now watch this as a pro. In San Francisco, his first 3 years, he was 36. He was 36-11. He went to the NFC Championship game in his first year coaching, lost to the Giants. He lost the Super Bowl the following year, won the NFC, and he lost in the NFC Championship game that other year. So 3 years in a row, he was in a conference championship, and he won a conference championship.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a good resume, dude. It'd be hard for me to bash him and go to his resume. I mean, he led the 49ers, obviously, with Kaepernick, Stanford, and then Michigan. I mean, he's done really good jobs, but
he was 44-19-1 in San Francisco.
Is this year 2 with him? Year 2, right?
This is year 2.
Yeah, with him and Chart. And
his first year, they were 11-6. This year, they're 8-4 right now.
Wait, so let me ask you, what do you think Jalen Hurts does tonight?
Against Derwin James?
Derwin's one player.
I think he has 3 picks tonight.
No, he does. You do not believe that.
I do.
He hasn't thrown 3 picks since like 21.
Not going to get the run game going. They got to get the offense going. They're going to be.
When is the last time Jalen Hurts threw 3 picks?
Okay, I think he has 3 turnovers. I'll take that back, and I'll say 3 turnovers. I think the Chargers are going to beat the fuck out of them tonight. I just do. Who's got more momentum going into this game? Chargers or the Eagles?
Definitely the Chargers. But I don't think they have great momentum either, do they? They were kind of
They've won
started off hot, and
they've won 5 of the last 7.
Have they?
Yeah,
I thought they started off hot.
they've won 5 of the last 7 ball games.
I don't know. I'm just not like a big LA guy. I mean, they beat Denver and Kansas City in the first two in the first 3 weeks. Then they lost to the Giants and the Commanders.
Hey,
and they beat the Dolphins. They lost to the Colts. I mean,
they got that Colts game though. Put a bad taste in my mouth about them because they got crushed at home,
and they got crushed by the Jags too.
The Jags are 9-4 now.
I know they beat Jags them 35-6 though.
Oof, what a beating!
That was a total beating.
Was. Am I right when I say they've won 5 or 7, or is it 4 or 7?
Let me look. No, you're right. 5 or 7.
Well, that ain't struggling. Okay, I mean you're 4-4 over the last 8. Okay, how you doing?
Let me read these super chats.
Let's get to the supers here.
Here's Emmanuel. What's up, brother? Canadian $5. Appreciate the 5, but
what's that? 14 cents?
No. You guys underestimated how much of an advantage we have in the trenches. Chargers O-line is booty juice. I watch the Chargers every week, and they're missing the 2 tackles. Trevor Penning stinks, and Mekhi Becton's been awful.
Yeah, well, okay. They got the advantage of quarterback.
Well, Emmanuel, I'll say this. When your defensive line gives up 281 last week, you lose a little confidence that they can bully anybody. All right, but I get your point. Here's JD3. Sorry, guys. I'd rather have a quarterback that can run an NFL offense than have to hire a Pac-12 RPO offensive coordinator who will be fired or hired after 1 year. It's actually a good point.
Yeah, really. So who's next for Jalen? Chip Kelly? Got to hire Chip Kelly next.
Here's Howard. What up, Howard? I agree. No JMU. Remember, first game in 2027, the Marshall Thundering Herd will be stampeding through your Bama Crimson puddle. Long live the Sun Belt Conference. Birds tonight ugly at 2017. All right, Howard. I got 21-17. By the way, the Alabama Crimson Tide will beat the Marshall Thundering Herd to a fucking pulp, Howard. Oh remember, Howard. I told you that. To a pulp, Howard.
Hey, JMU and Tulane to just for me, Gary Cobb, because he's in the green room right now.
Come on.
Those are my 15 would be in by the 10-minute mark in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's funny. Everyone's mad about Bama getting him, which I get it because Bama's the hot name.
I'm not pissed off about Bama.
If you're Notre Dame, it's like, all right, Bama's at least a squad. I mean, at least they're a program with pedigree and talent. You put Tulane and JMU doesn't even have a full stadium. Have you ever seen their stadium? Yeah, it's like a half a stadium. I mean, come on, what are you doing there?
Gary played an annual Notre Dame game.
Did he?
Yeah,
that's legendary.
USC Notre Dame every year. Yeah.
Riot says, amazing all the national guys calling out the quarterback and even some Eagles guys saying it, but the Jalenites will continue to not see it. Jalenites, your boy is the shits. Oh, come
on. He loses tonight.
Chris Simmons, that was a scathing. I'm surprised you didn't listen to that. All right, one more, and we got JAKIB. Here's Tyler. What's up, Tyler? If Hurts starts to flinch, it's because he can hear the footsteps of Tanner McBrady creeping up in the shadows. Sileo idiosis engage. Chargers 31-17.
Siliosis.
Every week, did you get this one every week?
No,
no. Every week, Jalen Hurts takes a huge dump on the fan base with his pedestrian performance. Jalenites, thank you, my king. Can I have another?
We got another corporate B over here.
Here's corporate B again. Pump, Jalenites better not run tonight. You better be on the JAKIB postgame receiving the medicine. I predict the worst Eagle loss in 5 years occurs tonight. Oh, man. We're going late tonight, Pump. We're going to be on late tonight on JAKIB Sports.
I told you, I got 28-17 Chargers tonight.
Nah, I don't got that. I got the Birds winning.
How are you feeling all of that going into this game when they've looked like shit going into it?
Do you want me to lie to you? I feel like shit. I'm hoping the team can turn it around. I don't know what I'm going to say.
Okay. So your strategy's hope tonight.
Yes. My strategy, yes. I am hopeless sitting in my chair in my studio. All right. It's hope. Yes, it is.
It's hope tonight. All right, Big Fish. Hey,
By the way, Nick might be relying on hope too, my friend.
well, hope ain't a diamond, man. I can tell you that in the NFL.
All right, so it's a good show, man.
Hey, I will see you on the pregame tonight here at
right,
6:30 Eastern time, correct?
Yes, sir.
You got it, brother. Thank you so
Good.
much, man. Love you, man. All good. So we will see him on the pregame show, and don't forget on the postgame. I'll get to Cobb on the college playoff in a bit, but how does he feel about the Eagles rolling into this with Nick Sirianni, no Jalen Carter, no, as of right now, Lane Johnson going into this game, even though he had a really wild tweet with eyes? Does that mean he could play tonight? We shall see. How about that there? So let's go to Cobb from Fox 29. Former Eagle himself, been in the market forever, covering your football team. He is our friend. He is Gary Cobb. Cobb, what are you thinking tonight, man? Is this a must-win game tonight for Philly?
Well, I think in a way it is from a standpoint of them wanting to continue people talking about them repeating. Because I think, if they lose this game, can you really look somebody straight in the face and say, they got a chance to win the whole thing? I mean, I don't. I think that's hard to do. So I think that this is definitely a game. Even with you got some people out like you mentioned, Lane Johnson. You know how important he is, Jalen Carter and everything. But I think this is definitely a game in which you got to say it's winnable. I mean, if you're playing the Chargers are 8-4. The quarterback, he's not at full strength. He's got that bad hand.
Yep.
So if you ask me, he's their best player.
He is.
So and he's not at full strength. So I think that you look and say, well, they're not at full strength. So you can't be, feeling sorry for, in fact, Jalen Carter's not playing and then Lane Johnson's not playing. They're not at full strength either. So the thing is that, especially, I mean, if you see the game between the Bears and the Packers, and you look at that, and you say the Packers aren't letting them run the ball down their throat. They're not letting that happen. So that makes what they let happen makes that look even worse.
Gary, do you think that what you saw against the Bears, where they ran for that 281, do you think that's a sign of things to come, or do you think that that's a one of, because you and I know this, if the offense is like leading the league in 3 and outs and you can't stay on the field and your defense can't get off the field, I think that's been the 2 issues of the Eagles this year, has been those 2 dynamic things on 3rd down. And they're not winning 1st and 2nd down like they did a year ago. Mm-hmm. Do you think that the offense has now really taken its toll on the defense, where can they rally tonight? Do you think they show up? Do you think that defense we saw a few games ago shows back up again? Or do you think that this was really a sign of things to come, maybe going all the way back to Denver in the second half, where we started to see it kind of crumbling starting then?
Well, I tell you, that's what I'm going to be looking for. And right now, I can't. How could I look at this team and say I'm sure they're going to show up? As bad as Chicago beat them and ran the ball down their throat, did Chicago do that to anybody else?
No.
I mean, hey, I think this is definitely a thing where, this is personal. I think they got to. These guys got to come out and play like that. Somebody, like you could get beat, you could lose the game.
Yeah.
But you let somebody run the ball down your throat. Like I said, it's like I don't want to get way out of line, but that's somebody getting in your face, telling you what they're gonna do to you, and then going and doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's totally, disrespectful And, that's what they had done to him. I mean, and the way those guys,
they dominated him.
I don't remember which one of them was, they kicking the ball after the score of touchdown and kicking the ball into the stands, man. Dude, you're going to be kicking the ball into the stands on us? You got to take that personally, man.
How about what Barkley said? And I'm going to paraphrase it here. Saquon Barkley was like, we're doing all the right things in practice. And Gary, you and me as former players always read something into it because we are around so many different types of personalities. When you're in a 47 man, well, 53 now.
Yeah.
For us, it was 47.
Uh-huh.
You're in there with 47 guys, 53 guys. And you go through the motions during the week and you do all the right things. You get where you're supposed to be. You go to your meetings. And then you're on the sidelines and you're not engaged. You don't have a sense of urgency. Yeah. There's not a hunger that you had a year ago when you were hunting and not being hunted like they are.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that's an attitude problem? And who do you put that on? That is it the players? Is it the coach? Is it all of it? Because the way Barkley was talking to me, it just sounds like these guys are not engaged. Is it that so-called Super Bowl hangover that they have? You tell me what you made of those comments.
I ultimately think it's about the players, I mean, a coach can only do but so much. I mean, a coach can beg guys, kick them in the butt and everything, but the coach doesn't go out there and play. So ultimately, it's the guys in the huddle, everybody looking each other in the eye and say, man, look, this is about us. If they run the ball down our throat, every guy in this huddle is getting disrespected. And the guys just look, if you don't do anything, you're going to respect me. I'm not leaving that up to you. I'm going to fight to where you're going to have to respect me. And I think that's where they're at. They got to come out with some of that because they got embarrassed. You can lose a game, but when it gets to where it starts getting embarrassing, well, that's when, this really a fight. This is past football. This is personal. And the way they got, we're getting humiliated, and especially the way the blocks were, they were doing these reach blocks like that, got these guys running, they're blocking guard guys, you got defensive linemen 10 yards downfield getting blocked. Man, like even if that happened in a drill, that's personal. Dude, you don't embarrass me.
Gary, you got my attention now, and I'll tell you why. Because now what you're saying is now that these guys' manhood got tested this past week, and every single thing that you're doing right now is really not. You think Vic had those come to Jesus? You think those guys healed on them? Do you think those guys made that very clear? Because, like you said, Gary, when you play defense, that's an attitude, not a position. Yeah. You have to have an attitude to play that position.
That's right.
And you have to have an attitude to play on that side of the ball. And is there an attitude adjustment that needs a – do you think
I think there needs to be – I mean, I was looking at Houston yesterday.
Man, are they good.
Come on,
God
man.
Bless it, man.
And the thing is, they play with attitude. This thing is personal. This is not, this is my resume right here. Like, look, you don't come in here and embarrass me. That's like, I know the guys that I know, well, back when I was growing up, somebody go in somebody's, you walk into a man's store, this guy got any respect. Whoa, you don't come in my store, just whatever, like you don't have any respect. I mean, this is my business and everything. And I might be small or whatever, but man, you're going to respect me as another man. I mean, you're going to come over here, whatever it is, and because that's the way I was taught that's the way my dad was. See, now, my dad was not a big man, but I tell you what, he was a man.
Oh, my grandpa too, man.
Hey, and so and like I said, I go back to my grandfather too. Look, you're gonna go in there, that's why I was a little kid when I was born down in North Carolina. Look, Pops used to tell us we were little guys. I had 3 brothers, 3 sisters. He tell the boys, look, I'm leaving my shotgun in here. He tell my older brother, look, my shotgun in. Your mother and your sisters, okay, I expect if somebody hit that door, you guys aren't going to take off, leave them, No. You're going to hear that. You're going to hear that shotgun clicking. You know what I mean? Like, look, don't disrespect me. You start talking about messing with my family and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what it is. When you totally disrespect me as a man,
that's right.
That's what was happening the other day.
Yeah.
Guys are running on you like that.
That's right.
You got to start
Gary,
taking that.
That's
personal, man.
You tie all those things that your pop and everything. When you play defense, you tie all that. I don't know if the average fan realizes that. You got to build yourself into that when, hey, my pop your pop wouldn't want you being disrespected like that when someone's running you over like that.
Come on.
My grandfather would say the same thing to me.
That's the type of people. That's the type of people that I grew up in. That's what my father taught me. Like, look, you might win the game. You're not gonna disrespect me.
You're not gonna beat me up.
Meaning, like, hey, that's gonna pull something out of me to where that's why hey, I'm gonna go in there and go to work. Meaning, like, you're gonna try to disrespect me. Look, so that's what I'm expecting to see out of these guys tonight. Okay?
Oh, you're expecting to see energy.
I mean, look, this is personal.
Okay.
And the thing is, these guys like to run the ball. That's what they do. They run the ball. You mean, I know that family. See,
Harbaugh.
Yeah, Harbaugh, his brother, was a coach for the Eagles for a good while.
Yeah, early he was special teams guy. He was special teams with Andy, right?
And see, I have met the dad. You know what I mean? These old-fashioned folk believe in the same stuff we talking about here.
Yeah.
That's what they believe. Old-fashioned, and really, this, to me, is America at its best, where, look, you think you're gonna roll in here and you don't have no respect for me. Like,
you're right about that family.
Hey, come on, man.
Hey, I called Jim Harbaugh a fist with a mouth on it.
Come on, man.
Because that's how the kind of guy he is, man. He's a tough dude.
Hey, he was that way at Michigan.
Yep.
Okay. Come on. And so this is what I want better to see tonight now. Now, if I was over there in that locker room, I tell you what, that's what I'd be talking about. I bet you these coaches need to be talking about it, everything. Because some of that stuff that was happening on that tape was flat out embarrassing, man. You're letting somebody run for 200 some yards on you. Almost 300 yards of rushing. Where they're almost like laughing and stuff. And hey, this is my job. That's like I said, what I was saying is, you go in somebody's place of business, this is not a joke.
No, not at all. Gary, let me ask you this one here. So am I supposed to feel, according to John Clark on this report, am I supposed to feel better or worse that Nick Sirianni is more involved in the offense?
I respect Nick and everything. I know he's had his hand in stuff, even though he might not have been saying everything. He's had his hand in it. So really to say, come on, he's got his hands on the offense, and this is why, in a way, we talk about Jalen. Jalen is Nick. Now, people don't realize it. Look, a lot of things Jalen does, which is like taking care of the football, and Nick is to the point, the whole thing with not turning the ball over and everything. And the numbers are right. Meaning, like, you turn the ball over, you usually walking home losing, So that's Nick. And he talks that a lot. And even when Jalen, last year, they were able to get ultra conservative, have him play ultra conservative and win. They've done it some this year. I just don't think you can do it all the time. And, you got to take care of the ball, but at the same time, you got to attack people too. So that's the whole thing that's going on. And that's Jalen and Nick. And, in some ways, I don't think you can know when one starts and one finishes, because Jalen plays so conservative and stuff. That's Nick. See?
Can I ask you a question? And I want you to answer this like you always do, as honest as you can.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a conversation with Jonathan Vilm over the weekend, and he knows I talked to you, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, ask Gary Cobb, who game planned against quarterbacks, what his thought process is on the skill set of Jalen Hurts and how he would play against him.
Mm-hmm.
Would you fear him in the passing game at all? Or would you be more concerned about the way he runs the ball? Because the way Jonathan Vilma said, he goes, I don't really think the guy's going to frighten me in the passing game. My fear about him would be is more about him getting out in the perimeter, making plays in the passing game outside the pocket, and also being able to stretch the chains. His take was he wasn't really nervous about his arm going across the middle of the field.
Well, I think that with from what I know from and I've seen all of his games and everything. The thing I think Jalen's strength is definitely his ability to hurt you with his legs. And I probably would say his deep ball, that he does a pretty good job throwing the deep ball. Those other areas are not necessarily his strength, when he gets in the groove, then he's doing some of those other things, throwing those intermediate routes, and he's accurate with them and everything, and he's reading.
You think he's streaky, Gary? You think he's really streaky?
Without a doubt, he's streaky. And so, the whole talk about his legs, I mean, I think that's huge, because that was one of the things hurt people is he hurt you with his legs. Look at every big game where he's shined in. I mean, so many like in the Super Bowl and things. He's hurt people with his legs. Then I think that gets him into the flow of the game and everything. And then he's throwing that deep ball on you, And the thing is, those two go together really, because if those DBs and things see him take off and make a big run like that, then they're thinking, as he drops in the pocket, they're thinking about, they might have to come up and deal with that. And the next thing you know, they let somebody get deep on him. See, so I definitely think that he's at his best when, and I think it's something that they need to do more, which is you got to let him hurt them with his legs, because he does that. I mean, look at the game against the Cowboys. He made some runs in the Cowboys game. That's why they were up 21-0. But the thing is, see, and some of this is Nick. See, everybody thinks everything's Jalen. They took their foot off the gas in that Dallas game. Come on, man. Look, Dallas has got an explosive offense. If you look at those receivers when they're healthy and everything, they got two of the best receivers. Both of them will hurt you. They should have lost the first game. CeeDee Lamb dropped a couple touchdowns. They should not have taken their foot off the gas pedal in that Dallas game. Come on. But see, they get to that thing where don't turn the ball over. Don't turn the ball. Now, I think, as much as I love that, I think you're right with some of that. You can take it too far. And see, it's not just Jalen that's taking too far. It's Nick in Jalen's ear with that. See, because, if you hear Nick, every time he's talking about those turnovers. And so I think that, but Jalen, without a doubt, we all know he has his limitations. Certain things he's strong in, certain things he's not. But I think that, they're going to have to open things up. You're going to have to be aggressive at times, especially with this year when they haven't had the running game. Now, see, if they have a running game, then that takes pressure off Jalen. But look how much this year with it, no running game.
Hey, Gary, who do you think has been more detrimental to the offense's issues this year? Nick, Kevin, or Hurts?
Nick, Kevin, or Hurts? That's a good one right there. I think all those
Don't
guys
you
play
agree,
into it.
Gary? I made a comparison, and I said this: that guy Ben Johnson. You bring up Chicago. Ben Johnson's not running Jared Goff's offense for Caleb Williams. He critiqued an offense and made an offense for Caleb Williams to succeed in. That may be 25% or 50% of what Jared Goff's abilities were to be able to spread the ball around and run the ball, because he's a better delegator of how you get the ball around in the pocket. Goff's just a better quarterback than what Caleb Williams is. But Ben Johnson has taken that offensive playbook and tailored it to fit Caleb. Now, when I look at Kevin Patullo, hasn't Kevin Patullo done the same thing? I mean, he's tailored that thing to what Hurts' skill set is. I mean, if he was going to call deep passes all the time, that's what they would do.
And I agree with that and everything, but we talked about the one thing that they kind of haven't made is using Jalen's legs.
Yes, correct. Yep.
Now that part of it, if you look at Jalen down through the years, that's one of the things that it hurts people, and it adds to Saquon too. It helps the running game because making him a threat occupies people. See, and I think if I were looking and to say that's one thing they have not done a good job of. Come on, just the threat with Jalen with his legs. That's a threat that occupies a couple guys that have been making tackles, some of them in the backfield and everything, because you're not using him as a threat. Just one or two runs, but they got to have some success. And all of a sudden, that coach goes over on the sideline. Those guys go, look, hey, such and such, you got to be ready for him on that backside. I don't want you running over there trying to make the play over. You got to make sure you stay back. And they have not done that. That's something, that's a key thing, I think, which is one of the things could help maybe open up the running game more. Now I heard, Jalen and Jordan Mailata say something about, how they tweak things and all this. That may be where they tweak some things. We'll see tonight. But I definitely think they need to get back to having Jalen as part of the running game, because if he does break something, it makes the defense, at least one guy is going to be occupied sitting there waiting for him. Is he going to keep the ball and come back out of the other side? And the thing about it, he's good enough of a runner where you got to honor that threat, because the guy scores touchdowns. I mean, he can't take it to the house on you.
Yeah.
And it puts pressure on the defense. And it's one thing that I definitely think they haven't done a good enough job of, because when is the last time he, like he did make a couple of runs against the Cowboys, but they have gotten away from that to where people haven't had to worry about that.
Absolutely. I got a couple more here for you, Gary. You tell me about, and Gary, this about the NFL. If you don't talk about the business of the NFL, and I mean the contract business about the NFL, this isn't like high school where you can just take a guy out, put a guy in. So I had a conversation with a couple guys in the Rosenhaus office. And then we had Dr. Chow on last week. And everybody was going, oh my God, Jalen Carter is going to have surgery. So I wanted to get on both shoulders. And as you and I know this, Gary, if you're getting shoulder surgery on both shoulders, you're done for the year. So I went and asked Dr. Chow, and I said, and he came on our program, and he went like this and said they were plasma shots. Now, I wonder if the guy's more concerned about a $180 million contract coming up and putting bad tape up and having that been affected this year, because would you not agree with me? Jalen Carter's not played well this year.
That's right.
I mean, you talk about a guy who's going to be in a contracted conversation. All of a sudden, you got bad tape, and you just got ran on, Gary, for 281 yards, and all the things that you just questioned about.
Yeah.
You're not just questioning the unit; you're questioning everybody in the unit.
You better believe it.
When you come out of that, you're all
starting with the best players. So it's starting with Jalen,
right? And I'm saying
start with him. We're like, hey,
I mean, don't you think there's business? Could there be business decisions that are being made here? Because it's week to week. They didn't say he's missing significant time. Right. They're plasma injections, Gary. That's not an injury. That's maintenance.
Yeah, well, now, I never had that, so I
that was really a little before our time.
and I never really, had a teammate that was really dealing with that. So I can't say I know a lot about that, but I do know that, sometimes some things are business. I can't say that I'm sure about that.
Right. Are you more concerned about making the playoffs, or you got a $180 million contract coming up next March? You got your ring.
I'll tell you, I know that the big thing with him, I mean, he's looking at that tape, he's looking at 98.
Yeah.
Not worry about all the other guys and stuff but that was some bad.
And if you're questioning, Howie and Vic are questioning.
That's
plus
right.
You came in and out of shape. Plus, you came in with some discipline issues this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you got a contract coming up in about 4 months. I mean, dude, you're not having a good 2025 year, and they were counting on you. Remember something, Gary?
Mm-hmm.
All the things they did in the offseason by getting rid of Sweat, by getting rid of Milton, by getting rid of all those guys. What was the one thing conversation that we kept hearing? Well, they got to pay Carter. They got to pay Carter. They got to pay Carter. Well, now you're going to pay Carter, and you're like, Carter played like shit, and I'm going to give him $180 million at $35 annually a year? Holy shit. I don't know if I'm there. Are you?
No, I'm not.
I'm not there either. I'll pick that 5th-year option up right now before I sit there and give you a 3-year deal based off of 25, right?
I don't know the reaction, but I'm not going that way. I'm thinking about, I'm going deep in, going like, smiling like they're doing with Saquon,
Yeah.
Or somebody's, player of the year. You know what I mean? That's what we're expecting to see, defensive lineman of the year, like, dominant. We have not seen that. You better believe it. And
that's a huge question going into this offseason.
Without a doubt. I don't know how they're going to.
These next 5 games could determine whether he gets a 5th-year option or he gets a 3-year contract extension. Don't you think?
Without a doubt. The decisions on him, you could not have made the decision with him yet because you didn't get what you expected. You have not gotten what you expected. After you win a Super Bowl and he was so instrumental in it and everything, and you figure, well, we're going to see consistency to the point to where every game, we got this, and I know, I don't want to say I'm saying this right now, but you're looking at the whole big picture and seeing everything the way you want is this guy's going to eventually be a Hall of Fame type player. I mean, this is what we're talking about. This guy is going to be, the best at his position in the league, just about. That's what we're talking about. He's not played on that level. No, he has not. And it's been very disappointing. And now he's hurt and stuff, and he needs the injection. Hey, we need somebody coming off of out of whatever he has to do. We better see a monster coming out of there.
Yeah, because right now, he's eligible for an extension coming up in March. And I'm with you, man. Right now, I'm giving you a 5th year, and I'll pick that 5th year up on you, but I'm not giving you no 3-year contract at $35 million. Paying you more than Chris Jones?
No.
Shit, you're not in that room now. You're not better than Quinnen Williams, the guy in Dallas right now. He's better than you. That guy's better than you. Hey, do you think that the Eagles had a conversation with A.J. Brown and told him to pipe down? Because, Gary, he's been awful quiet lately.
Without a doubt. You could you could tell that they had a talk with him. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And
you think that's going to affect his status? You think that affects his status on being here after this year?
I think they're going to make a judgment on that. I don't think they've made the judgment on that. I think depends on how this whole thing plays out. Because and we get a little taste though of how dominant he can be. The guy has great ability.
He does.
And so with him, Jalen getting on the same page and them getting this offense going. See, the whole thing is, if they got the running game going a little bit, doggone it. to get it going some, they have the potential of, and the thing is, they need it. If they're going to accomplish what they want, they need it.
Do you think they've promised AJ that we'll address everything with you and all your concerns in the offseason? And if it's so that you want to move on, we'll make that accountable for you and try to do the best we can? Or do you think that conversation never happened?
No, I don't think that they've had any kind of conversation like that. No, I think that
so you don't think they're there. You don't think they're there yet?
No, they're not there yet. No, I don't think they're there yet, because I think that he's very confident here. I mean, he's close. I mean, I see those guys talking. I mean, Devontae and AJ, they're very close,
Yeah.
And they want to see the passing game, be consistent and move to a higher level and everything. And so I think they're still, hopeful that it gets to that. And I think for them to be what they need to be this year, because I don't see the running game becoming as dominant as it was last year, they need the passing game to be at a higher level that it's capable of being, and to be that week after week. That's what they need. And, that's going to depend on Jalen. It's going to depend on those receivers and the line and everything. So, it's still there. They can still, but we got to see it. I mean, talking about it is not it. They got to go out there and do it.
One last one here for you. Barkley, you think it was a mistake now in hindsight? And again, I know we could play Monday morning quarterback here, but the contract extension, making him the highest paid running back, boy, that really looks like right now, man. You talk about some moves that I wish probably Howie wants to have mulligans on. Maybe the Cam Jurgens contract, this $20 million too, where they didn't have to do this.
Well,
I mean, do you think Barkley gets back to ever being Barkley, or do you think this is really the beginning of the end for him?
Well, I don't know that he's ever going to have a year like he had last year. I mean, I'm not saying that, but
yes, no,
I think that he's still capable of doing 1,200, 1,300. He's still capable of doing up there
1,000 yards off of what he did a year ago.
Yeah, I mean,
but Gary, my problem is not the yardage number. My problem is, like, here's Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's on pace for about 1,400 yards this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's still 4.7 a carry. This guy's like 3.3.
Yeah.
I mean, Derrick Henry's 32 years old, and he's still pushing it near 5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
If Barkley was around 5 yards a carry and you brought that number down a little bit, I think we'd still be good with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But his production is just not there in yards per carry.
Well, I think I said this last week. He's gotten into some bad habits.
He has.
I mean, because he was making those big runs like that, where he would hit the right hole and boom, he's gone, man.
Yeah.
And that's what he was doing week after week, to where he's looking for that. See, and with the line not being what they were last year, a lot of times that is not there. It's been there a couple times, but so that's why I really think, and you saw, his backup go in there, he's hitting that hole, he's getting 8 yards. Look, we need those 8 yards. We need the 5 yards. And he can't run like he was last year because they're not opening up a hole like that. So if he can get to where he can get consistent, look, get us 5 yards, get us 4 yards, because that will help the passing game, see. But they got to get something. You can't be getting caught in the backfield. And so if you're looking for the home run, you're dancing in the backfield. And so you can't do that.
You can't do that in the NFL. One question on the college playoff. What'd you make of it? Gary, I don't know about you, but back in the day, I liked it when we played in all those big bowl games. Somebody came up and said, hey, look, man, I think you're the champion. Now you've got a political committee. You've got
I know.
These guys looks like a beauty pageant, and you're like trying to figure out who the best teams. Do you like the landscape of college football today?
No, I don't like it, man. This thing with Notre Dame and stuff. Come on, they got a good argument.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, so I don't like it, man. I can't say no. I you know, and I guess
I guess
I knew
because
it was
you
gonna.
can't. I guess because you can't decide it on the field. You got to
That's right.
decide it in a boardroom. You know.
That's right. That's right. And you know,
Dude, I knew those teams you played on were the best teams in the country. I mean, you when you tuned like this, when you tuned on USC during your time, those are the best teams in the country. You, Ohio State, those were like Oklahoma, Nebraska. There wasn't really a bunch of teams where you went, hey, that Boise State team looks like they could play with Gary's S. That wasn't like that back then.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, I was very impressed, you know, with like Indiana, man, with what they
Me
did.
too. I was too.
I you know, first of all, during the game, I'm going like, hey, they could play with these guys.
Yeah.
You know, and they were getting after them, you know, and so that was impressive. But you know, they just got to make sure they keep it on the field, you know, where things are done on the field.
Yes.
Well, you know, don't be pencil whipping people in the back room. You know what I mean?
Pencil.
That's where when it gets that,
I'm
where
stealing that.
Hey, you know, then eventually you go down there and you get all the way in the back, and this geek deciding on who is going to be the champion. That's what ticks you off. I mean, let it happen on the field. Don't be, you know, like I said, pencil whipping somebody. I mean, come on, man.
I'm stealing that. Cobb, we'll see what happens tonight, man. Hey, real quick, you think this is a must win?
I think so. I think so because, you know, you lose this game, man. It puts Dallas right back there. Right, you know, you're going like, man, who's that right in back of me? Somebody breathing on my neck. That's Dallas. That's Dallas who's breathing on your neck. And you know, and
by the way, if that happens tonight, there's only going to be one team come out of the East.
Yeah, probably so.
You're not going to have to.
See, now you're talking. And the thing is, you know, you have to give those boys credit. Like you mentioned, you know, Quinnen Williams. I mean, Dallas got some grown men over there.
Dude, that guy's a great player.
Come on, man. They got some grown men over there. Yeah, and when they came over there and you had CD and the other receiver, I mentioned the name, but you know, you got those
George Pickens.
You got two, I mean, you got top level receivers there, man.
Yeah.
And to think you're gonna shut both of them down, no. And then you know, Dak is in the flow and everything, man. You going out. That's why, you know, the fact that they got beaten and everything, I was going like, now the Eagles, I know they're probably somewhere dancing because, you know, Dallas is gotten serious all of a sudden.
Yeah, no, they're good. That's a good football
they're
team.
Good. They got a good football team, and the way their defense is playing with so much, you know, they're playing with fire and stuff. But for them to go ahead and have Detroit, you know, put that 44 on them.
Yeah.
Now the Eagles should think something about that. Hey, look, man,
you
put 44 on those same guys.
You could put Dallas to sleep tonight if you win this football game against the Chargers. You could put that whole thing to sleep tonight.
Yeah, and I tell you, if they come out and play well tonight, that let me know, give them confidence in looking at the rest of their schedule. See, I get a lot of confidence out of that, and they would have a lot of confidence in it because. But they got to come out and play, and it's not going to be any walkover, you know.
I'm with you, Cobb. We'll see what happens tonight, my friend. Thank you so much for all of it, man. We'll catch you soon.
Hey, have a good one.
You got it. Gary Cobb from Fox 29 in Philadelphia. We appreciate him. Yes, sir. Must win. When's the last time we said that about the Philadelphia Eagles? A must win. Sorry, man. I got 28-17, bad dogs. Chargers. I don't see where you're better than them. Where? You're not better than them on defense. Your quarterback's not better. Your head coach is not better. Your D coordinator is better. But where are you better? Your O-line's not better. Where's your O-line better? You're 23rd in rushing. Where's your O-line better? You're better in tight end, and you don't use your tight end. You're not better on defense. Hey, get this. This guy thinks he's better on defense when you just got 281 run on you. Let's take a look at that. Let's compare defenses. Chargers defense versus the Eagle defense. So the Chargers are third in defense, total defense. The Eagles are 25th. The Eagles versus the pass, or the Chargers versus pass defense, they're second because of Derwin James. And the Eagles are 18th. Rush defense, the Chargers are 12th. The Eagles are 25th. On red zone defense, Eagles are 4th. Chargers are 11th. Here's the beautiful one right here. Third down. The Chargers get off the field. They're 4th. The Eagles are 25th. Come on, man. You're better on defense? Where? Where are you better on defense? Where are you better on defense? Hey, by the way, you just got the shit run over. The Chicago Bears ran you over. Season just started with 5 left. Okay. All right, let's do some, and let's pay some bills here. Our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America, for a reason. They win. Thousands of attorneys from coast to coast defending families like yours if you've ever been injured on the job. 25 years ago, the Morgans started this company defending families like yours because someone in their family had been injured. This was a crusade that the Morgans went on, creating this company when John's brother was paralyzed and a company tried to take advantage of him. Well, fast forward 25 years, here we are. They're the #1 law firm and the #1 injury law firm in all the world because of that mantra and because of that mission statement. Do me a favor. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529 and do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
Had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
You gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Hey, James. James goes like this. The Chargers were blown out by the Jags. Jags are 9-4. You were blown out by a shitty 2-win Giant team. What's your excuse? Hey, James, you're talking like you're good. The Giants blew you out. Wait a minute. I want to double check that. Let me double check and see what the Giants' record is. A team that blew you out. And it will be in the top 5 picks. Let's see. The New York Giants are a 2-win team. They're 2-11, and they blew you out. Okay? They blew you out. I mean, I think the Chargers are a good team. I don't think they're a great team, but don't talk like you're a fucking great team. You're making it sound like you're great. You're not. I didn't say the Chargers were spectacular. You're making it seem like you didn't lose to anybody. And the Bears ran you over. By the way, the Bears killed you. You were killed by the Bears. Killed. Crushed. Embarrassed. You were annihilated. Anybody who gives up 200, almost 300 yards rushing, that shit only happens in college. You're fucking destroyed. Okay? Look at this guy. King of the fucking excuses. Short week. Welcome to the NFL, kid. Okay? Dude, I'm not telling you the Chargers are a spectacular team. Jesus criminy. You're not either. Yeah, get this. Yeah, we beat the Packers and you turn around and get crushed by the Giants. Well, who are you? Over the last 8 games, you're 4-4, dude. How you doing? 4-4. You're making it sound like you're good. Your defense is getting systematically destroyed. You don't have a good defense. Okay? This is funny. Seals how quickly you forget. You do realize the team has a positive rabbit now. Show some respect. That's fucking funny. You're telling us the quarterback, the coach, the whole team on both sides of the ball are better than the Eagles. Yeah, they are. I think they're better than you. They've won 5 of their last 7 ball games. I think they're better than you. You're 4-4 over the last 8. I do think they're better than you. The quarterback's not better. They've got a better defensive secondary guy than anything you have with Derwin James. Q's not better at his respected position at corner than James is at his. James is the preeminent safety in the league. He's the preeminent guy. Like, Cooper DeJean's not in his league. It's not happening. This means dick. Seals, that Giants game old as fuck, bro. Let that shit go. Giants got the number 1 pick in the draft. How you doing? Yeah, and I don't know if it's going to be if I were them, I'd take that kid from Ohio State, that kid Smith, for a Jackson Dart, and you put him on the other side. Malik Neighbors. You get Jeremiah Smith and you get Malik Neighbors. You're going to have yourself something nice. Okay? You're going to have something nice. Imagine talking shit on a 2-game losing streak. Eagle fans, something else. I mean, I don't know anybody's name on my defense. I'm too cool for that. I believe you are. He's not eligible for the draft. Smith is not. I thought he was going to be the first pick in the draft. Find that out. I'll tell you what, that kid Tate, he's also good. Okay, he's not eligible, so he has to. Oh, that's right. He was a true freshman last year. You're right. He's got one more year. He's not a redshirt freshman or a redshirt sophomore. You're right. You're right. He was a true freshman. No, the kid was a fresh. Yeah, he's a true. Smith is a true sophomore because he was there a year ago. He's the best receiver in the country. He's fucking spectacular. I mean, he is just a spectacular football player. That kid was making plays. I mean, I'm with you, man. He's a special football player. So just got here after work. We got Notre Dame declining a bowl game. Eagles and Chiefs hanging on by a thread and positive rabbits. What a week. Absolutely. You know what? After second thought with the Notre Dame team not going to the Pop-Tart Bowl, why should they kiss up to and do anything for ESPN when they trashed them all week? You know, Xander said, do you think Miami would have done that? Maybe. Maybe they would have not gone to a bowl game. Depending if it was the Gator Bowl in Florida, they probably would have did it. But if they had to travel somewhere, they may not have. You know, getting on a bus and going to Jacksonville is not that big a deal from South Florida. So, and I would have played in the Gator Bowl. But if some sort of stupid bullshit bowl, I'm not playing in. Yeah, I mean, hey, for the record, I do think Notre Dame got jobbed, but not by Miami. They got jobbed by James Madison and Tulane. Fucking stupid. Why are they in it? The only reason they're in it is so they don't get sued for antitrust. Because you have to have you got Sun Belt in the American Conference in this thing. Why? This is ridiculous. JMU. Give me a fucking break. Let me look what the point spread is for that already. Let's look what the point spread is. Bulls. And what's the point spread for that game? Shit, that's got to be a 28-point spread. Sills, if A.J. Brown leaves at the end of the year, where do you see him landing? They may send him where he wants, New England. Jimmy Johnson would have put a positive rabbit in a boiling pot of water. Sirianni uses it as motivation. My coach would have put a dead body in the locker room before he put something like a positive bunny in there. You'd never see any shit like that around Jimmy Johnson. That's not that guy. He'd put a dead body in there with a guy's head chopped off before he would do any shit like that. Yeah, that wasn't my coach's style. Yeah, he was positive though, but he's not doing any of that dopey shit. That's not happening. Jimmy wasn't real big on that shit. Because you know why? During the week, he would tell you this. Yo, man, here's where you are. Jimmy had a thing called the totem pole of production. It was called the totem pole of production. You're here on the totem pole. You're not at the top. You're not at the bottom. You're kind of in the middle. So you got to determine, do you want to go down or do you want to go up? My level of interest in you will determine by where you are in that totem pole. I don't give a shit about the guys down here except for getting rid of you. If you're up here, those are guys that are my guys. I loved what he tweeted, and it was one of the greatest tweets that he ever did. He retweeted it, that Jimmy called me one of the greatest hurricanes, and one of the greatest hurricanes for him of all time. He did that on Sunday for me. And when you're one of those guys, he comes on your show. When he's one of those guys, he's your friend forever. I love to coach. Hardest coaching I ever got. Greatest coaching I ever got. Last thing coaching. I know what a great coach is because I've been around him. That guy won at the college level, the pro level. There's 3 dudes that have ever done that in NFL history, and he's one of them. How you doing? Jimmy won a national championship as a player. Jimmy won a national championship as a college football coach. Jimmy won a Super Bowl as a head football coach. I don't know what else. The only thing he needed was a Super Bowl win as a player. I remember seeing Jimmy Johnson running with players on America's team. He said, that's how I know you guys aren't in shape. If my old ass could keep up with you. I'll tell you what, that's a true story. If you ever see that Netflix thing, I was there for that. They drafted this tight end from Clemson, and he had asthma. My girlfriend, my wife, was with me, and we were running 16-110s. Craziest thing you ever did in your life. They were the hardest conditioning test in the history of God. 16-110s. I think I made them once in my life. And for the big guys, you had to run 110 yards in 19 seconds, and you got 19-second breaks in between. Then you had to turn around and do it again. For the fast guys, it was 17 seconds you had to make it, and you got 17-second breaks. Like at Miami, I never made them. I made like 12 or 13. I never made 16. Cowboys, I made 16. It was the only time I ever made it. But I was, but then you had to run them again. And you had to run them until you made them. And that dude, one time a guy was like, I got asthma, coach. He stopped running. Jimmy cut him right there. He was a 3rd-round pick. Get your fucking ass out of here. And the asthma field is over there. And it was outside of the Valley Ranch facility. And I'll never forget the Cowboy guys because it was going through transition because we were going through conditioning. They looked at me and goes, I go, bro, he'll cut anybody. He don't care. He doesn't care. He cares only about one thing, winning. That's the only thing he cares about. This guy doesn't give a shit about anything but winning. It just doesn't. He sacrificed anything. He didn't care who you were, what you said. He'll fuck with anybody. And boy, did he put the fear of God in you. You're here. You're about not to be here. And you're about to be cut. He would tell you that. He would let you know exactly where you were. Okay, you're 2 days away from being cut. I'm sitting right next to a guy. I heard him come up to him going, listen here, man, you don't have a good practice this morning? You're out of here. Guy would have a great practice. He'd come to him and go like this. You extended yourself a week. Then if the guy became good, he goes, congratulations. You extended yourself a month. Keep it up. Then he'd start motivating you. Then he would start patting you on the back. The guy was a fucking tough dude to be around, man. You didn't know, you knew always where you stood around him. That's why we won. Thank you. Yes, I agree. We changed the sport. Sills, can we honestly say that elite quarterbacks would thrive with Nick? No, I don't believe that. I believe they'd want control of the offense too. I do. I'm not so sure about that. Hey, Martin, I think it's easier to control a limited quarterback who buys in and understands the turnover ratio stuff like Jalen Hurts does. I think it's easier to... Hey, Martin, do you think this would be fair? I think it's easier to coach Jalen Hurts than a Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, or Joe Burrow because you could never convince those guys to do the things that Jalen Hurts does. Is that fair? That's why Baby Sills had to ask Jimmy, why are you always on my ass? That was before Sills understood hard coaching is good for a player. No, I always never really responded to anybody just to holler at somebody until I understood. And by the way, for the record, senor, sometimes coaches can holler at you hard coaching, and you're 6 you're 6-5. When coaches holler at you and you're undefeated and you're winning national titles, you know that process works. If you're screaming at me and we're 5-7, what's the fucking point of you screaming at me? You suck too. But when you're undefeated and you're hollering at somebody and you're motivating somebody and you got first-round people like Russell Merrill and Cortez Kennedy behind me, yeah, it's a different environment. Sometimes coaches just holler to holler. Most great coaches motivate, and it's true. He did. His famous line was this, Shady. If you tell a player who he is, he'll remain. If you tell a player what he can be, he'll become. That was a mantra of his. He constantly, always was trying to elevate us. You can get here. Listen to me. You can be here. Listen to me. Jimmy used to say, I'll carve the yellow brick road out for you. You got to walk down it. I sure did. I love Bernard Clark. Tiger was fantastic. A super teammate. And a person I really love. Yeah, he was a little younger behind me. Yeah, he was on my 87 national title team. Yes. He was also on the Fiesta Bowl team. He was a true freshman. They may have, I don't think they redshirted him. They may have. But Tiger was with me 86 and 87. Yeah, he was there. I love Tiger. Bernard Clark is a great dude, was a great teammate. And again, I don't dislike any teammate I ever played with at Miami. Every single one of us. It was just a great football team to be around. It was just tremendous. You do behaving, valid point. You're an honest person, but you always the same thing every show. You are the Kevin of covering the Eagles. You're just a little better at your job than him. Well, dickhead, we don't bring up the same shit every day, douchebag. I don't remember what I said yesterday. Fucking dumb. You seriously, these people think I remember what my show was on Friday. I don't. You know what? Hey, Jason, if there's one thing about my show, is that it's never the same show every day. Yeah, was that a compliment or an insult? I wasn't sure. Kevin, anytime you compare me to Kevin Patullo, I don't know. You know, right? Yeah, well, he might want to try to write that a little better too. Hey, that's right. Hey, dude, I go by what's going on right now. Hey, if you hear it that way, that's because your team's doing the same shit every day. I played high school ball with Clark. He's coaching at Robert. Yes, he is. He's the head football coach there. Doing a hell of a job from what I understand, too. I love Tiger. Great dude, man. He took over for, he may have been the MVP of the Orange Bowl when Myra got in trouble for steroids. He may have won the MVP award that year, if I'm not mistaken, for the Orange Bowl. There's crazy delusional Cowboy fans out there that actually believe they can have the Eagles meltdown by saying dumb shit so the media can think it's Eagle fans. Trust there's a bunch of them. I don't know. I get it. Well, right now, their Super Bowl was won during the regular season. And you know what that was? They beat the Eagles. Yes, he was the MVP of that game. What head coach would be perfect for Jalen other than Shane? To me, it's Tomlin. No. Ben Johnson. If he had to coach Jalen most likely would be the MVP. Because Ben would change like he did for golf to... You don't think he changed from golf to Caleb? Okay? Ben Johnson would make Jalen Hurts an MVP. How many people agree with that? You went from a drop-back quarterback in Detroit, a guy who doesn't really run and try to get out in the perimeter and make any movement with his feet, to a guy that spreads the ball around. They run the football with those dual backs. I would be suspect because he couldn't take Trey Lance and do shit with him. Or Kingsbury. Yeah, Kingsbury would have been a great coach for him. Kingsbury would be a great head football coach for Philly. With Jalen. With a Josh Allen. Like, if I'm the Buffalo Bills, I would either hire Joe Brady or I would hire Cliff Kingsbury. Nobody wants to coach this. And I wouldn't say that about Jalen. Jalen's not that. Okay? You're all stuck with me for another 2 years. True. Tom didn't have the patience with Fields. Fields doesn't have the ability. No, Justin Fields is nowhere near Jalen Hurts. Hurts is a better passer, a better thinker on the field. He's smarter. Sees the game better. Here, look, we're going to be fair here. Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields, just because you can run hurdles or you're a better athlete than Jalen, that don't mean you know how to apply your athleticism in a football game. Justin Fields, I said it coming out of college, would be a turd. He blocked me. I was like, well, sorry, kid, if you couldn't take it. I don't think you're very good. I never thought he was good. I didn't think he was. I saw him struggling versus Indiana when he was, and this was a couple of years back when he was at OSU. I didn't think he was good there. Would have been interesting. I thought Fields was great in college. Now, he was. Tim Tebow was great in college. Baker Mayfield was sensational in college. Shit, RG3 was fabulous at Baylor. What's his name? Charlie Ward was an incredible quarterback at Florida State back in the day. NFL's a different game, man. Just a different game. I remember I got in an argument with 49er fans. They were so mad at me when I'm the one that started calling one play Trey. And all the 49er fans go, you watch, this guy's going to be all pro. I'm like, dude, I had to Google his highlight reel from, where was it? North Dakota State, because he took the year off with North Dakota State because of COVID. Dude, there was very little game film on him. I think he had 290 passes or something in his college, and they took him 3rd overall. And they traded with what? The Dolphins? To get that pick, and you're like, fucking why? He was terrible. So I wore on you then. Hey, Nad, so that was you? Because 49er fans, they were going like this. I'll bet you $50 that this guy, and I'm like, that guy's a turd, man. He won't beat Brock Purdy out. And 49er fans couldn't believe it. Right. And I was like, that guy's not good. Him and Justin Fields is a little better than Trey Lance. That's the problem. You know what, though, Nad? That's the problem you get with the combines. Guy goes to combines, right? Thank you, Keith. I appreciate that. That's the problem you get with the combines. You go to the combines, And you know what people were telling me? They go like this, Sills. Justin Fields just ran a 4.4. I went, so what? Can he throw the ball? He's not going to win championships with his legs. He's going to win them with his arm. And he's going to win them with a combination of his brain and his arm and his legs. That's how Hurts won that Super Bowl. Brain, legs, arm. He put it together. Not everybody can. Like, I still think Lamar Jackson struggles with that. I think he presses too much. I see you change back into your original account. Now you're a Cowboy fan. Oh, DFW sports fan? Who's that? Hey, I like it. I like the NFL when the Cowboys are good. There's more content for me. I think you guys, I don't root against the Cowboys. I want the Cowboys to be either horrible or great. Not in the middle. They're not fun to cover when they're in the middle. Right now, they're kind of in the middle. So I want them to be either horrible or great. But it is good when they beat you and split. So for me, that's great content. Yeah, you guys have me wrong. I won the Super Bowl single-handedly. I bet you did. I bet you think you did. Hurts is not dumb as fuck. He needs to be controlled by the OC and quarterback coach. First read has to be there or Hurts struggles. All of that is true. And that's why he's limited. Can't set protections, can't read defenses. This is the same shit. It's like Groundhog Day. Maybe that guy's right. Because it is like Groundhog Day. Every single day, I tell you the same shit for 5 years. All right? Oh, that's only when I'm watching Hurts try to throw a pass. I go under the table because I can't believe the guy sucks so bad. And, well, I know this. You're under Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman's desk. I don't know what you're doing down there. I'm going to assume you're picking up pencils. But from what I understand, you're under those guys' desk every day. And it's becoming a nuisance. Now, I'm hoping you're picking pencils up. I heard you're under Howie Roseman's desk every night. So I'm just going to assume he dropped his pen. That's just what I hear. I'll leave it there. I'm like, we're a family ride here. Okay? I want to keep it a family show. He's polishing his wheel. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. He dropped a cannoli. Yeah, no. He's cleaning the wood. He's floor shining the wood. Philadelphia, I've always been a Cowboy fan. Born and raised in Dallas. Never changed and never will. I love Dallas. I met my wife in Dallas. Great looking chicks in Dallas, man. Holy shit. Even at the McDonald's places. You want to see great looking women, you go to Dallas, Texas. Holy shit. Unbelievable. I mean, I loved living in Dallas. I had a great time living there. Seals needed pressure tonight with Herbert, holding the ball with a cast on one hand, expecting quick passes by the Chargers. Also a lot in shotgun, too. Hey, Professor, all I can tell you is this. My boy M. Reyes, he's got one hand, too. One hand's injured. From what I understand the other night, after Jalen Hurts had a rough night versus the Bears, I heard he's in a cast, too. I don't know why. He's a one-hand warrior, too, from what I understand. It's okay. It's all right. Texas State Fair. I got my tattoo there with my wife at the Texas State Fair. That's a great fair. Big dude out front. Right there at the Cotton Bowl. Oh, it's fantastic. That's a great state fair. My stats were great against the Bears. Yeah, you were. You were awesome. Okay, Dan, do they smell like filet of fish? Oh, come on, man. Make me fucking throw up here. Come on, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Positive rabbit. So A.J. Dillon put the positive rabbit in there. I'll tell you what. I heard John McMullen kind of blow it off. It is a goof. Lighten up. I actually am all right with the positive rabbit. Now, any coach with his weight and gold there is not going to allow anything like that in his locker room. But Nick is kind of a, he's kind of a pacifist. The planting of the seeds and all that. This is really kind of great. By the way, I think it's great for Hard Knocks because I'm sure that'll be centerpiece. Is having the, what do they call it? The feel-good bunny. The M. Reyes bunny. That's what I'm going to call it. The M. Reyes bunny. The feel-good bunny. The M. Reyes bunny. See, you know what? If you wind it up, M. Reyes is the bunny. And he's saying, Eagle guys, you're the best. Don't let Big Bad Sills tell you you're not, Jalen. You're the best. You're the best. Howie, you're the best. You got to look up when you're talking to Howie. Because, when he sees Nick and Howie and Jalen, M. Reyes is on his knees. It's immediate look up. Hi, Jalen. Hi, Nick. When you waddle around on your knees, it's kind of tough. Let's see. Derwin James is going to make positive rabbit soup tonight. Are you saying he's going to make succotash tonight? I'm going to have rabbit stew tonight. Hey, what happened to Jalen? Have rabbit stew. Fry that rabbit up. Hey, go back and tell that fucking rabbit I'm ready for him. Where does Hurts truthfully rank in the NFL at quarterback? 34th? No. What did I say? I think I got him 15th this year. I'm sorry. I think I got Jalen. Well, here it is. Here's my quarterbacks I rank ahead of Jalen. Let's see here. Drake May 1, Stafford 2, Dak 3, Jordan Love 4, Mahomes 5, Allen 6, Herbert 7, Goff 8, Daniel Jones 9. Now he's hurt. Bo Nix 10, Trevor Lawrence 11, Baker Mayfield 12, Caleb Williams 13, Sam Darnold 14, Joe Burrow 15, and there's Jalen Hurts. Shit, Jalen Hurts might not even be on my top 16. This is on pure talent. I got him 15 or 16. Yeah, got him about 16. And Reyes does a great job for all of us at the No Care. Yeah, he's the insider. He goes around. He scrubs hard too, man, from what I hear. But that fucker, he's not 32. What did Angelo predict Wednesday before the bye? He said they would go on a losing streak. Now, they won, but then they lost to they won before the Cowboy game. The Cowboy game and the Bear game. They won that game before that. Now, he did say they go on a losing streak. Purdy hadn't played enough this year. I said 2025. Guys missed 8 games. He's going to play like Crusader Rabbit or the killer rabbit from Monty Python on the Holy Grail. I hope somebody knows that reference. Holy shit. He's going to play like Roger Rabbit. I got Hurts at number 1 for the biggest bullshit post-game comments. Dudes, Jesus criminy. Joe Burrow's hurt too much, Crowley. Pure talent. I put him down there because he doesn't play enough. Says, I'm a true Delawarean. By the way, so is Randy White. Randy White's from Delaware. At 59 years old, best player to come out of the first date is that's right, Manchester Randy White. Do you personally know him? Any stories to share? Bro, I went to Maryland because of him. And when I got there, I went to Maryland because of Randy White, and he recruited me. Jerry Claiborne had him call me before Bobby Ross got the job. And he called me and said, we'd like you to come to Maryland. I'm like, ugh. I wore 54 in high school because of Randy White. He was my favorite football player. And then I got a chance to play next to him when I got to Dallas. He didn't play that first year with Jimmy. They made him retire. He didn't want to go through it anymore. He had played 14 years. They invited him. I played with Ed Jones, though. I played with Tutal. She says, have you heard Jeter's story of Giambi's lucky thong? I have. Hit a home run, wore it, went back in and took it off. I heard it. I actually like that story. Would you like to come and play? Oh, my God. Really weird. Once again, man card revoked a little bit there, Oz. Only thing Brock does better than Mac Jones is hit. Yeah. So, all right. I got the Chargers winning tonight. I got the Chargers 28-17. Let me check something here. Chargers. I know a ton of people in that organization, too. Still. So let me see here. Oh, they got the powder blues on tonight. They got the powder blues on. Old school 1960s. I think Phillip Rivers is in the building tonight. Phillip's in the building tonight. Chargers are not winning by double digits. I didn't say that. I said the Chargers win tonight. Oh, yeah, they are. Why? You're making it sound like you're good. There you go, baby. Who do you have winning the NFC East at this point? Eagles. Now, tonight, if you lose tonight, then again, you are capable of losing. You know what? I heard John McMullen say this on Bird 365 today. He goes like this. He goes, Washington has surrendered. Well, in 2023, there were teams at the end of the year like the Arizona Cardinals and other teams that had surrendered like the Giants, and they knocked your doorknobs off. If you lose tonight, all bets are off on those games. Even the Raider game would be off. If you take care of business tonight, like you should, you make it sound like the Chargers are 2-score better than the Eagles. They got a better quarterback than you. They're better at quarterback, and they're better at head coach. I mean, Jim Harbaugh actually calls fucking plays. This guy took Colin Kaepernick to a Super Bowl. Oh, and I'm promising you, a lot of people in there don't think much of that guy. He took Kaepernick and won an NFC championship. Actually, they went to 2 NFC championships with him. Okay? 31-17. How many times have the Philadelphia Eagles, let's see, you didn't score 30 points against the Rams. That was a defensive score at the end that put that thing over 30. So let's see how many times the Eagles have scored 30 points. He said 31-17. So let's take a look at how many times the Eagles have scored 30 points this year. Tampa, New York, twice. Actually, not Tampa, because there was a punt block return. So you didn't score 30 against Tampa. You scored 30 points one time this year offensively. One time. 31-17. You don't score 30 points. Get out of here. Buccaneers didn't sign Jason Pierre-Paul. I've been screaming at those. Dude, you signed a relic? Good God almighty. Got to be kidding me. You signed a relic and Jason Pierre-Paul. Big Dom is stream pressing Sirianni's cheerleading outfit for tonight. Better quarterback, better defense, better offense, better special teams, better head coach. Eagles need all calls and bounces to go their way. Good luck with that. Stop it, Sills. Final score was 31 points against. Bro, you didn't score 31 points offensively. You had a scoop and score on special teams. You didn't score 31 points. Chargers have the third best defense in the National Football League. If Hurts doesn't use his legs and Barkley doesn't get the ground game going, that's what I'm saying. The Chargers are great on defense. You're horrible on offense. How's that transition? No, I'll do 25 Coronas. What's this? Here's another glazed donut. What's Hill's excuse if the Eagles win tonight? You were better. You were better. Good luck. You were better. You won. Dude, you think because a team beats another team, that's an indictment on the quarterback or the coach. Welcome to the NFL. I saw Carolina beat the Rams. That don't mean that fucking Bryce Young is better than Matthew Stafford. What a stupid take. See this excuse? You won. Welcome to the NFL. No, but Bryce Young's now better than Stafford. Talk about ignorant. Talk about being a dummy. Congrats, you beat the shitty Chargers. Chargers aren't shitty. Chargers are a good football team. Well, you're not that great. I think they're okay. They're a good team. You're a good team. This could be the most physical defense the Eagles have faced all year. Yeah. You guys are some sort of like snow cloud. Like, our offense is going to wake up in week 15. Okay. Week 15. We're here. Only took us 4 months. Wow, that would be a shocker. Now, then again, the Eagles aren't going to score more. What did I say, 17? That'll do it. I think this does play into it a little bit. How much would the injury to the left hand affect the throwing motion of the quarterback? Does it have – I don't think so. I don't think it has any bearing. I really don't. Maybe when you catch it coming out of the snap, but you're going to see a ton of shit in shotgun. I doubt with a fractured hand he's getting under center. If he gets under center, this guy's a hero. Okay? I mean, Eagles are going to lose this game. Eagles lose this game. They're in trouble. Deep passes. I wouldn't want him to be in that pocket and take a hit and have to defend himself getting on the ground and putting his hand on the ground, potentially getting a high, what you're afraid of is that he gets compound fracture. You don't want him to hit the ground where he has to defend himself or protect himself on going to the ground. Because listen, I don't think you're going to see a lot of running from him. You may, but if he does, he's going to have to get down quicker. Yeah, a 6'7", 265-pound guy is going to go down with one sack. Highly doubtful. Guy's 6'7". He's 265. That's not happening. 6'7", 265 is your starting quarterback. And you got a guy that has to stand on a Tokyo phone book to look over his own offensive line. You have to put a Tokyo phone book down there for the guy to stand on, like a high chair, like M. Reyes sits in for dinner. And Reyes has to stand there for that. All right, let's pay some bills here. Our good friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason. Okay? That's because they win. Defending clients across this great country of ours, if you're ever hurt or injured on the job, this will be the easiest decision that you'll ever make. Uber, if you're hurt in that, if you're hurt at work, do me a favor. Contact my friend John Morgan and his team of thousands who have the #1 injury law firm in all the world, not just America here. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor, tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce. Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
had work done on her face. Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the jet setters and the high rollers, to the shot takers and the tastemakers. Welcome to the viewfinders, the thrill seekers, and the night owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Chargers. 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 Got the Chargers tonight. Absolutely. I will see all of you on the pregame show, 6:30 Eastern, and on the postgame show for tonight's legendary matchup, Chargers versus the Eagles. Big Joe, Xander, thank you. I will see you in a few minutes, and we'll catch you on the flip side.